happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the True Gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? I know the answer to this.
I'm not doing great. I wonder if my voice... I don't know if my voice sounds different. I don't sound bad. No. Oh, thank God.
Except these mics are much better than our ears, so maybe...
Yeah. I was saying on Twitter, so just so you guys know, I was terribly sick all of a sudden, like at 4 a.m. yesterday.
Yeah.
All of yesterday I took off and we delayed the recording by one day just so I could try and get better.
Yeah.
I am
it must
feeling
have come
a bit
all
better.
of a sudden, because like a few hours before, I was like, yo, can we go earlier?
And I said, yeah. I was like, no problem, bro. What?
Yeah.
Of course,
an hour
no
here
problem.
or there, yeah.
And then all of a sudden at 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I'm like, I did it away from the mic so you didn't get the full thing there.
COVID.
You see, that is real. But it all of a sudden hit me. I am feeling better than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
But I have got a bunch of
You're
pills,
medicated up
cough
to the
sweeps.
gills.
Yeah, I got some sprays. And I don't know what these do because I have a Polish girlfriend. Everything is put in Polish, so...
Oh, of course.
I don't... They could be making things worse. They could be making things better.
Could just be like boiled sweets.
It could be. I have no idea. But throughout this episode, you're probably going to hear some ASMR of like sniffs and cough sweets touching my teeth and stuff like that.
I think they must be used to it because I'm one of those guys that bounces between... Right now I'm okay. I can breathe through one nostril.
Right.
But like I'm normally either packed up with a cold or hay fever. So like rarely do I get to breathe through my nose in the ear. Right now I'm enjoying the luxury of one clear nostril. Whenever I get those moments where like everything lines up and I can just breathe in like HD. It's like I'm breathing in 4K 60 FPS. It's ridiculous. It's such
wow, you're like a PS5 all of a sudden.
Right?
Oh.
But other than like dying.
Other than that, I'm actually quite good. I did try to drown my feelings and my shitness in playing some video games. Played some more Elden Ring.
Yeah.
That was really
that
cool.
on stream or off stream?
Off stream.
Because I know you've been streaming it a bit.
I did the... oh God.
How are you finding Elden Ring?
I am actually really liking it.
Yeah, I thought you would. I think I said I thought you would. I think I'm just not doing it right.
We hoped that this would be the entry point for Souls games for you. It turned out it wasn't. We was hoping for the best. It's just not your vibe. Like, it's just not your thing.
Little things like I saw you put a tweet up of you beefing out some giant. I obviously, Mr. Exploration, found that guy. Yeah. You get teleported to the thing, and couldn't figure it out. And I also did what you did, which I was like, glowing stuff on the foot, it's a giant, I'll attack the foot. Didn't seem, for some reason, never went up. Maybe I was doing so little damage, it could well be that.
I was going to say, because I smithed up my weapons as well.
I never smithed
and
anything.
I put it on two-handed, and I was doing the charged attack, and I had a talisman that boosted that charge attack. So in like 2 hits, he would fall over, and then I would do the visceral attack where you smack him in the stomach. So, and it would take so much damage. But I did do that with no damage, and for all those guys that are saying, yo, Ed, that's one of the easier guys out there, I'm playing the game on Ultra True Gamer difficulty.
It's true, yeah.
So it's more difficult than you guys have been playing it.
Only
me and Miyazaki are friends. I got a special version because
there's actually cheat codes to increase the difficulty.
Exactly.
Like you're like there's only one level above you, which is like Asian.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen that Uncle Roger?
No.
I think it's Uncle Roger, but he's like, that's where that emotional damage comes from.
Oh, is it?
Because he's like playing the game, a leaf falls on you, dead. And then like, it's like, no, it goes even higher. And he's like, emotional damage? Like, that's where that comes from.
I didn't know that's where it came from. I use that all the time.
Emotional damage. Yeah, that's where that comes from.
That's fucking great.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I need to see that. The original.
I'll try and find it.
I need to see that.
It's pretty funny. Because I don't know, the game's good.
Yeah.
I absolutely am not saying so. Originally, we had said that we think probably Elden Ring is being overhyped. Yeah. How do you feel about that now that you're like
Do you know what? I do. I think it's good. I think it's better than Souls games, other Souls games.
So it's the best of the bunch so far. Yeah,
I do like the open world part of it. It's, you know, typically when you see a game go open world, it's just
almost always ruins it.
Here we go again. And this, for some reason, it just really works. Like, I love going to different places and then going, wow, that guy's really tough. I'm going to head over here. Oh, this area is really cool. And there are so many different areas with varying different landscapes, and they all look so cool. I got tricked into going into one red area, and I got locked in because it was like a PvP battle area.
Okay.
And I was like, no!
I did see your map. Your map was different to mine in that you didn't go as far north, and you went east, and I went west and north. And from what you had explored, mine was like 3 times bigger. So I explored a bunch of the game. Like, this isn't like I didn't like it after 20 minutes, you know? I just didn't get it. I'd still get the sense that the story's incredible, and I kind of want to give it another shot, but I need a beginner's guide. I need a guide.
Yeah.
To, like...
At least I have the guys on stream who have all played it. They tell me.
That I think would have helped a bunch to, like, keep me engaged. Because I just was just... Because, like you said, the game doesn't explain anything, and that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
Just didn't... I don't know. I felt like I was a bit left out in the wind. But... and it's not a difficulty thing. I get it. The game's hard. I liked Sifu. I don't like that kind of game. I don't like these sorts of games, but I liked it. It's good. And it's not that hard, to be honest. Like, once you figure out...
Patterns.
Once you figure out the patterns, once you figure out just how late you have to wait to roll, it's... oh my God.
That giant boss.
That I feel personally attacked.
Yeah.
That really gets my goat. Oh, it's that bit at the end where he goes... and then oh my God,
that giant guy does one thing that particularly pisses me off. Like, I've got down the late attacks thing, like down to RT, but the bit where, like, sometimes he stabs the ground with his big spear thing, and I'm like, cool, that's damage, no problem, I'm gonna run past and go to his leg. When he pulls out, also damage comes out. I'm like, oh, for fuck off, bruv. What damage was you doing with that? You didn't hit anything. Pulling it out of the ground somehow makes an area of effect. Like shut up, bruv.
Yeah, I mean, I just have you got into the story at all? Like, have you fought Margit and beat him and accessed it?
I've only, like, done a little bit of story. There's, like, I'm very much on the surface. There's one quest that I started thanks to Ben and all the guys in the stream.
Well, at least you found quests.
Which was to go
Trust
to a
me,
castle.
if they're there, I would have found them. 2.
I was supposed to go to a castle.
Castle Morn, yeah?
Exactly. And
her dad's waiting for you.
Exactly. So I just started that, but I promised that I'm only going to do the big bosses on stream, and there was a big boss in that, so I was like, all right, I'll wait until we get back to streaming and then complete that.
Is there a big boss? There's a dude with, like, a big gold thing on his head. He's not that hard.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, you go in, if you go up, you go up the cables.
Yeah.
And then you're in that area with all those things, like worshipping they're on, like,
the fire.
Yeah. Past them is a big dude.
Oh, that guy. I ran past him straight away. I was like, he doesn't look like a boss. He just looks like a big guy. So I ran past him, and if you continue going down the path, you get to this one area that's, like, behind mist, the golden mist.
Yeah.
And it's like it essentially looks like a griffin lion type thing.
Definitely didn't find that guy.
Very fast and very angry. And I'm like, ooh, okay, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah, I definitely didn't find that.
Around some jellyfish for some reason.
That's weird. Yeah, didn't find that.
This is the thing. This is what I love about Souls games, that you can say literally anything, and it's like, of course, it's a Souls game.
Yeah, well, yeah, jellyfish. That doesn't sound unusual.
Turn right past the jellyfish, then you go over to the griffin. Once you've beaten the griffin, you then go
really angry.
Then the Pegasus comes along.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah. And actually, it fits for this game. All that makes sense to me. Because what I was going to say is that guy with the thing on his head, he's not particularly tough, but I never actually really got a chance to fight him, because any time I would attack him, it would pull everything around. And even though they would either fight and kill him, and I'm like, he's the fight I wanted, and then you're surrounded by... Weirdly, I feel like the game's harder with a lot of little enemies attacking you than one big one.
Yes, very much harder. That's why I snuck through that area, because I was like, if I fight him, all these guys are going to start fighting me. I did it once or twice, so I'm like, there's no point, and there's no way.
Yeah. There's also a mini-boss. You have to... I think you access the underneath of Castle Morn, somewhere else, I forget where, and you go, like, into mines underneath, and under there's, like, a mini-boss. I wouldn't even call him a boss, really. But he's the guy. He's quite weak, some, like, lizardy dude. I feel like he's the big boss of one of the things that's on the, on the walkways.
Right.
There were things that fly, and then these weird lizard dudes with, like, big axes that...
Yeah. There's one or two of them upstairs as well.
He's like a big daddy version of that.
Yeah.
And that's where I realized, you have to just wait way longer than you want to roll. And then I just caned him off in one. Once I figured out you have to really wait, I caned him off first try.
There you go.
It was like my 10th go at it, and I'm like, this guy isn't hard, why can't I beat him?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I'm just going to wait until I'm certain he's going to hit me, and then I'm going to wait even longer, and then I'm going to roll. And as soon as I did that, I just caned him off in one go.
There you go.
But, I don't know, man. It didn't do it for me. We'll stop talking about Elden Ring, I swear, but, like, I feel like the story's amazing, so let me know when you actually get into it.
Just be Where's your courage? Just tell everybody what you think, really. The game
That's
is
right,
shit.
the game is shit.
Everything's shit about it.
Yeah.
It sucks, just like our super bros over at patreon.com/Conbrosations, who support us at the $15 tier. You legends over there, you super bros, thank you for your support. You make everything happen over here at the show. Those great people are Diogo Dildo. Got saliva now because of this cough sweet. Isak, the ultimate cumsock. Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia. Adam Sunling. Catsper, the friendly patron. Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger. Super Sus Ben Fryer, the filthy thief fanatic. Joe McCormack. Clark, the 53rd. The super sexy producer Sean, the fakest Bat fan, the Batfish.
The Batfish.
Mikey T, the gamer giant. And Kevin, the #1 simp.
Bless you.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Okay.
Could you imagine if that's the way, right in the silence? You couldn't have picked a worse
time. Proper dad sneeze, isn't it? I don't know about you, but my sneezes, ever since I was a kid, have been loud as frick.
I've been loud because my dad used to do something where, in Turkish, you can say, I sneezed, literally the words I sneezed, and it sounds like a sneeze.
I sneeze.
Hapşurdum. So it's like,
no one sneezes like that.
My dad used to sneeze like that. He's like, hapşurdum, and I'm like, that's great, I'm going to do that.
No, that's like saying, oh yeah, in English you can sneeze like this. Oh, golly gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm going to sneeze. I sneeze like a dad. I was going to say before we got into that, they probably can hear the AC roaring because it is desperately trying and it's losing. Normally,
it's a losing battle.
Normally, we've had sort of complaints in this room with like the better ceiling and sealing of seals, better insulation and stuff, that kind of gets a bit cold.
Yeah.
It's losing the battle and kind of, I'm almost sweating.
Yeah, I can feel a bit of sweat. Today it's like 34 degrees in the UK.
Yeah.
And we've got the AC on max and we're warm. We're warm, a little bit over comfortable. Just a little bit.
Yeah, and also it's humid as frick. There are some people that are like, a friend of mine or a guy I used to know lived in Arizona and it would get to like 40 plus, right?
Yeah.
But it's dry, which isn't awesome. But like 40 and dry is way better than 40 and like 90% humid. It's going to be, I just Googled it, if you're in Fahrenheit, 94 Fahrenheit.
Whoa.
With, I don't know what the
I know that when Americans say when it's close to 100, then it's like it's uncomfortable as hell. So yeah.
Humidity today, I'm just curious what the percentage is. And there's no way it's saying it's 35% humidity. It's definitely not.
No, man.
That number's never right. That number is never right. And for anybody wondering in the States, we don't like, you have AC because we bought it like for the office and stuff. But like when I get to go home, I get to sit in whatever temperature is. There was a night a couple of years ago where the low was 26. So I don't know what that is for like 80, let's say. And it was 90% humidity. And that was the low of the night.
That's uncomfortable as hell.
We got to sit in it. A friend of mine lives in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And we'll get to gaming, I swear. And it's, you know, hot and humid there. And he's like, man, that's a rough day. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, but we don't have AC. And he's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, you just sit in it. And he's like, no.
But how do you think?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, how do you do anything? He's like, why do you think Brits are so grumpy? The few days a year where we get sunshine, we then get this. And the rest of the time it's cloudy and raining. Like. Anyway, off the weather.
I have one thing to say that's not gaming related before we get into gaming. So this isn't a gaming podcast anymore, guys. You guys tuned into the wrong place. Somewhere I read something on the internet and it blew my fucking mind. Sorry?
You can read?
Well, you know, it was transcribed to me. That's what it was.
Right. I had my girlfriend read something to me.
Exactly.
Really impressive.
It blew my mind because it's straight fucking sorcery.
Okay.
Your tongue can imagine licking something even if you've never licked it in your life. Right now, I want you to imagine licking this sofa. Right now, I want you to imagine licking this table.
How does it do that?
I want you to imagine licking a football. I want you to imagine licking sandpaper.
How does it do that?
Madness, right? I have never licked sandpaper. I've never licked these sofas. I've never licked this table.
I can feel the sofa.
And you can feel it in your mouth. Trust me, tell me anyone. It blew my fucking mind.
I don't like that at all. I'm really genuinely uncomfortable. And now I'm looking around like, oh, what would it be like to lick the outside of this weird plug? And then I was like, if you're not in the UK, we've got switches to turn the sockets on and off. I'm like, why can I feel it? I don't like that at all.
That's so weird.
I'm wiping that from my memory. That's not a thing that I know anymore. I'm getting rid of that.
No, you need to think of something else. It's like
I'm looking at the texture of the wood on the Leviathan axe, going through an OG PS3. Why can I feel the grills? I don't like this. This is a bad game.
The worst part is that when it gets down to the dark area where it's like, cool, I've never filleted a man before.
I'm not even. Do you know what's weird is you said dark area and I was like, I was thinking like, why can I guess what licking a turd would feel like?
Oh,
why can I do that?
The like bumps.
Yeah. Why can I feel this?
No.
This is a terrible trick. I do not like, the brain is an incredible thing and sometimes it should just go to bed.
Yeah, it should, right? Yours.
Why can it do that?
It's so strange. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I don't like that at all. That's really ruined my day. Why can't I feel what it tastes like, what it's like to lick a t-shirt?
Yeah, never done it in your life.
I don't like that at all. What is the point of all the stupid things it could do?
It's like a superpower, but a really lame one.
All right, forget the gaming podcast. Lamest superpower you can think of. Like an actual superpower, but it's just useless.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh god. Okay.
Boiling only 1 mug's worth of water.
Oh, that'd
be useless.
Pretty useless, right
like,
there.
and also, it's so useless. Like, it's one of those things that would be cool once as a party trick, one time,
right?
And then everybody would be like, "No one can." My kettle's more powerful than you. Like it was a novelty once, but like never bring it up again. Even at work, if someone new to it, look at my cool trick. Don't worry about it. It's a cool trick. Go into the kitchen, use the kettle.
Something dumb like, actually this is probably a hindrance. So something dumb like being able to see through your eyelids. It's like, why would that be a useful thing though? Because you can open your eyes to look. It's like when you close them, you want them closed.
Going to sleep would be a nightmare.
Well, for you it would just be the same. So
yeah, that's right. That's playing right in genuinely with your like most useless superpower that you can think of.
There you go.
That's ridiculous.
All right, boys and girls, today's the True Gaming Podcast, and on today's show, we'll be discussing some of the biggest games and announcements that were shown off at Summer Game Fest and Xbox Bethesda Showcase.
Yes.
Such as Fort Solis, featuring Troy Baker and Roger Clark. Great game right there. Routine, a horror Alien Isolation-esque game. And the big boys, The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, Starfield, and Redfall.
Yeah.
Bro. Let's start off in chronological order, shall we? So, Summer Game Fest happened.
Yep.
A lot of it was pretty meh. There was
what a shock! What a surprise!
Right, Summer Midfest is just what it's been called now.
I will say that I'm kind of upset's not really is too strong, but like the fact that we do gaming stuff means that we kind of are forced to look at this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Summer Games Fest next year,
mate. Do you know what? That's the thing. If they
from the comfort of our own homes,
if they ever were to do like a showcase, I'd be like, no, I'm cool.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm cool. I'm thanks. And the same thing for Xbox's game studio. I was like, people flew out to it, and I was like, man, those people must be really upset.
Oh,
it must be a good vibe there. But other than that, it's like, yeah, there's not really much else to go. Anyway, the biggest thing that was announced at Summer Games Fest. We'll go into some smaller things afterwards. Yeah. The Last of Us Remake, The Last of Us Part 1, was revealed, a release date of the 22nd of September 2022, coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. Hashtag Eddie was right. That was the reason for it coming all the time.
In fairness, it was a remake. So it's not like an... Yeah.
Exactly. But I said it's like the reason why it's being done is because of PC.
You did. You called it. You called it.
Yeah. Rebuilt from the ground up, keeping the same voice acting and mocap with a few minor changes in there to make it better emotive and stuff like that.
What we were asking for?
Exactly. We said keep the voice acting. You can't capture lightning in a bottle again.
Right. Exactly.
Don't do it. Just stay with it like that. I saw the comparison done by Digital Foundry, and they've done some really cool things. So the mocap's largely the same, but there's a few things. So like maybe Ellie's face, the faces are a little bit more emotive now, and sometimes Ellie she might be doing something, and instead of her just putting her arms out like that, she sometimes shrugs as well and drops down. Adds to the body language. And I was like, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, there's little things that like, I mean, mocap has improved in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
and that like uncanny valley thing that happens in games, because it's not real, is that how deep that valley is diminishing. You know, so like those little things that just people are now much more experienced with, like for example, if you do something, like if I go like that, my hand doesn't just stop dead, which looks, sorry, I was getting in the camera, it looks inhuman. It like goes a little bit further and then comes back. There's that little things like
reverberations,
something like that. There's a little bounce to it that gives life, and little things like that I have no problem with. And the fact they're keeping the same audio, like, brilliant. That's exactly what we need. I will say I've seen people complaining about the way it looks, and I've got to be honest, I'm completely in the other camp. I think it looks incredible.
That's the thing. A bunch of people are pissed. They're like, some people, some idiots, all this is the scale. Idiots over here that are like, the remaster looks better.
You don't say.
Hold on a second. They're saying the original remaster looks better.
Oh,
not the remake. They're like, the remaster looks better than the remake. And I'm like,
no, it doesn't. And it looks good. The remaster looks really good.
Still passable to me.
I love, by the way, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I would play it in the original graphics. I really don't care. The remaster looks really good. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as this.
No.
Don't play.
Yeah. And then there are people out there that are like, they don't like some of the changes that have been made. For example, what was the woman's name that helps Joel in the beginning? Tess, exactly. She's been updated to look a little bit better, in my opinion. I was going to say she didn't look
Tess 1 looked, she was gorgeous, but she's supposed to be 40 or something.
Yeah.
She looks like she's 22, and they've updated it to still a very milfy 40-year-old who looks like she's been, you know, a smuggler / drug runner / gun runner / bounty hunter in a post-apocalyptic world fighting zombies. She's gonna have some grey hairs, and she's still a MILF.
She's stressed the fuck out, you know.
Right. Right.
And yeah, that's what the game.
People are gonna grey. They're gonna get a couple of crow's feet.
So that's the game. It's been announced. It's real. It's official. Some people are being idiots, and they're really picking on the looks of it. I don't understand why it looks better.
I've seen complaints about the way the clothing looks. So like there's folds and stuff, and I think this is just like the Ratchet and Clank thing.
Yeah.
Where, you know, they changed the what am I thinking of?
The glass on the inside of the ship.
Yeah. The ray tracing. So if you don't know, they had to adjust the ray tracing on the inside of Ratchet's ship because it was so accurate. But that in a game, your brain tells you it doesn't look right. Yeah. Even though in real life you would know it to be true. But like for some reason people don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think this is what's going on with the clothes, where they look accurate, but because it's in a game, they think it looks less correct. But also it stills. When it's moving, those creases are going to shift.
Yeah.
And it's being caught. I think that's what's happening, for the record.
Could be. It could be.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it looks brilliant.
That's the game. It's coming with the Left Behind DLC as well involved in there.
It's the full Last of Us game.
It doesn't come with the multiplayer part, though, the factions from the first one. But that's the game, and it's being sold for the full $70, £70, £75, so £65 or whatever it is in the UK. And a lot of people have problem with the price here. I am in the middle ground when it comes to the price. I do think it is a bit pricey for something that they did have to do the graphics from the ground up, which I believe is a monumental task they've done.
Agree.
They've retouched all of the mocap and stuff like that. They've made it look great. They've made it look beautiful. On par with The Last of Us Part 2, I think.
I agree.
But they weren't making a new game.
They didn't start from scratch.
Right.
They didn't have to do the ADR. They didn't have to do the mocap.
Exactly, exactly. Some people were going as far as to say, it's a cash grab. I'm like, no, they did a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not they didn't do anything. It's not Nintendo where they're like Tropical Freeze and it's just like it's the same thing on Switch. It's done. They didn't do no work, but it's not a brand new game you're charging that you would charge $70 for another game.
I've seen complaints as well that, it won't have factions in. Why has this got less than the original game did? Now, in fairness, it doesn't exactly have less because it's also coming with the DLC.
Exactly, that didn't come in the original.
And also, as someone that loved the game, frick factions.
Yeah,
like
factions.
Five people played it.
People are like, what's happening with Last of Us Part 2 factions? It's dead. Forget about it. We're getting something better.
You only think you want it. Look, there's 5 people that do want it. Yeah. That's not enough to think. So for me, I don't mind. I do think it should be... The thing is, there's an argument, right? Like, it's the full game. You're getting the whole original plus the DLC, but it isn't a 40-hour game.
Yeah.
And I mean like a good 40-hour game. It's not like The Witcher 3 length.
Yeah.
It's all told, all in under 20 hours.
Yeah.
So I reckon, let's just say $70.
Yeah.
I reckon 60 is probably
yeah,
because they've saved some money somewhere else.
50, 60, something like that.
Yeah, I think I'd be. So, I love the game. I've played it before. I'm willing to go to the full price because I love it.
Yeah, we're still buying it.
And
still
we're probably going
to
game share anyway,
exactly.
or depending on like if they do something really nice for collectors or something.
They have a $100 Steelbook Firefly edition. There's apparently some cool stuff in it. I don't 100% know.
The worst thing is we're like, oh, we game share, so our games are half price, and now we're both going to go and buy $100
$200 thing. It was that version was only sold so far in America. It's probably going to come somewhere else, but it was sold out within 10 minutes in America.
Yeah, I can believe that.
While there are people out there that are worried about the price and thinking this isn't worth it, clearly to a lot of people this is worth it and more. Yeah. That they're willing to sell out the $100 edition.
I think
minutes.
with a nice steel case, with just a steel case. 70. I'm happy at 70.
I bought The Last of Us again just because it came
you
with
did.
a fancy cover.
Yeah, you did.
And all of the games
which
again.
by the way, you have the means and knowledge and desire to. You could have well just made those yourself.
Exactly.
You could have. That's not what you want. You don't want to make it yourself.
No.
And we've made game cases ourselves.
Yeah.
Mostly meme versions of us. But like the point is, we can do it. We've done it before, but it's not official.
Exactly. So, final thoughts on that, because I don't think there's too much to talk about here other than it existing and it's real and we're going to get to play it.
I think it looks good. Frick Factions, I wish it was $10 cheaper.
Yeah, I wish it was just a little bit cheaper.
That would feel fairer, but I will pay $70 for it, yeah. Fine.
What would be really cool is if they put it on the PlayStation Plus collection.
Put the remaster up there.
Well, I was thinking the remake.
I'm sorry, the remake.
If they did do that, that would be a big point. They'd be like, so our new service is up there.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, we said this before. PlayStation didn't want to do this service. It was only because you guys were yelling about Game Pass that they're doing it. They are in the business of making new games, selling you new games for the appropriate price.
I'm gonna come out and fuel the idiots and say you guys fetishize paying money for stuff. I don't think they should. I think this is new enough, and more importantly, the cachet of the game is big enough.
Yeah.
That I think they should ask people to pay for it for the first 3 to 6 months, and then earlier than it coming to anything else, it now goes on the collection. That's
probably what they'll do then, maybe before it comes out to PC.
Yeah. And even with that option of it being free, I'm still going to buy it.
Yeah. PC version hasn't been dated, by the way, in case anyone was wondering, but it is coming to PC, that's what they said. Yeah, you guys will get to play it there if you're a filthy PC gamer.
Yeah, if you haven't played The Last of Us, by the way, you're in for a crazy ride. It's a seriously good game.
I haven't, like I've said a couple of times, I haven't played it since Isla was born, and I've been waiting for this remake to come out. I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna get what I've been asking for with God of War, which is the full haptic experience in full PS5 next gen, 4K 60 FPS. Like you're gonna get it, and you are gonna cry.
I am. That intro is too powerful. It's too powerful, and then
the rest of it.
Exactly. It just doesn't get any better.
I love this game. So
I love
much.
it too.
So it will be really interesting to see. I mean, look, we're really cautious about telling you where to spend money. I think the game's worth it. Yeah. I think, however, if you're really not sure, you can pick up the remaster.
Yeah.
For fairly cheap, and you can pick up and you can pick up the original for almost nothing. So and like
the remaster runs at 60 FPS, so it's pretty good.
The remaster's really good. Yeah. The remaster's gorgeous. Like you should absolutely play it if you're not sure. Yeah. But I've played that game like 5 times. Yeah. I'm gonna buy it.
There is one thing they mentioned. They didn't show us, unfortunately, so we don't know what to say. But they showed they said they enhanced the combat. So I'm wondering if they
added some verticality, but going down, so you can get under tables and stuff like that.
So a bit like the Last of Us Part 2. Then. So if it's got Last of Us Part 2 combat mechanics in there,
I feel like they obviously. The guys over at Naughty Dog obviously listen to the podcast because didn't we say exactly? Don't change the audio. Don't change the mocap. Yeah. Don't change the game, but you can add verticality.
Yeah.
You can adapt the Last of Us 2 combat to this, which was my big complaint anyway. Was that I love that game, but the combat's a little bit basic. There's only 4 enemies, and basically you end up always throwing a bottle in its face and shanking it. That's the way you always do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, great. This is the game that I wanted. Cool.
there was a guy in the comment section, because obviously I made a video on this in Starfield and whatnot. It did fairly well, actually, like 2K views or something like that.
Good.
There was a lot of people that are commenting, a lot of idiots that found the video. One of them was saying, it's like, oh, they didn't do anything. All they did was give it a little bit of a upscale in resolution.
That's
like,
not fair,
right? And I was like, no, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And then he comments back, and he's like, they didn't even like do any like motion capture again. I was like, that's what you don't want to be changed.
Yeah, that's exactly what. And
I was like, that's the good stuff, just the stuff that makes the game. Why would you do that?
Like we said, they hit the nail on the head the first time. Yeah. Don't change it. You're running all the worst risks possible. They're doing it completely right. And I'll go a hair further, touching up mocap with stuff that wasn't there and adding it in and making it lifelike is not easy. That's almost more difficult than starting from the beginning.
I was gonna say I've done visual effects stuff. I've done like we do projects for whatever we do whenever we're having some fun, things like that. Sometimes it's easier to start from fucking scratch.
100%.
And sometimes you're like, I have to adapt onto this.
We're pretty decent at like
God.
The editing that I do is fairly basic. It's just cutting and stuff, right? But you do get quite good at it, and you can move things around to make stuff work. There's been times where we've recorded something and been like, we should just re-record. We're both pretty good at this, and it would be easier to just do it again,
fresh,
than to
retrofit,
than to try and make this work. Yeah. Like we could make it work, but it won't be as good. Let's just start again. We'll save time in the long run, even though it's going to take an extra hour or two. Like we had to do this for the ads, for Manscaped. Like it just ended up being, it was like an extra trip here and like an hour here or two, but it would have been 5 or 6 hours of editing to get it, and it wouldn't have been as good. Just eat the loss up front, do it again. It will be better.
One other thing two other things to mention, two tidbits. When of the day of the show, they mentioned the HBO Last of Us TV show.
Yeah.
The day after that show was the last day of recording, so they wrapped up there. That's going to be coming hopefully soon.
I'm still scared, but I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, it's
of all the shows that they're going to do, this one has the highest chance of success, which doesn't mean that even if let's say this banks, let's say it's every bit as good as the game, that doesn't mean the rest will be any good at all.
Yeah.
But strong one to lead out with, the easiest, I don't know if that's fair, but the most chance of getting it right. I want it, but I don't think they should have done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll see how it turns out. We can only wait now. Yeah. And then Neil Druckmann came up and he mentioned, well, he also brought Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson on.
Yeah.
Turns out they have a role in the Last of Us TV show as well.
Yeah.
However, they're not playing the roles that they played in the game.
Well, obviously.
Well, yeah, I was going to be like, so then why is it such a big announcement? We've just got them as a random person on the side.
It's just cool.
It's nice that they're in it because they made the game. Yeah. They made the game what it is. They made the name what it is. But I was like, yeah, but they're not playing the character they were playing.
Yeah, they're not, but
they're a coffee guy.
It's just gonna, barista, innit?
Barista 1, Barista 2.
Unnamed extra 3.
Fucking hell, could you imagine, like, Troy Baker gets knocked down to unnamed...
That'd be hilarious.
So bad.
I think it'd be really for us, where we can be like, hey... You know, it is really for us and for, like, nerds that, like, follow their stuff. I don't know if you guys know, but Ashley Johnson's in this Dungeons & Dragons thing, and it's actually really good. It's really good. I'm a big fan.
Nerd.
I 100% agree. I'm a full nerd.
They also mentioned very slightly that they're working on the Last of Us multiplayer game that was factions but has now evolved into something massively different.
It's going to be a battle royale, isn't it?
I don't think it's going to be battle royale. I think it's going to be closer to Left 4 Dead, but maybe third person and Last of Us style and whatnot, where they're going to have stories where you're going to go through, maybe there's a retrieve this person, this thing like that. Obviously, Left 4 Dead is less story and more about the shooting and the guns and whatnot, but this is, I think, going to be heavily story.
I was going to say,
over into that.
My knee-jerk reaction to that is a terrible idea, because even the guys that made Left 4 Dead, they made another project, didn't they? And it was basically Back 4 Blood, and it, like, even the guys that made Left 4 Dead couldn't make Left 4 Dead again.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
It was kind of a CDA PR thing. The guys that made The Witcher 3 couldn't do it again.
Yeah.
But then, you know, if you do make it story-based, that is enough of a difference to make it stand out, because otherwise it's basically the same game, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I have high hopes for this. I actually do. We only know the bare minimum about it. That it's going to be story-based. It's going to be set in San Francisco, apparently. outbreak times, obviously. It's going to be very much Last of Us themed.
Yeah.
New set of characters, so it's not going to be Joel and anyone that we know.
That's good.
But I do have a feeling this is going to be quite good. It's going to be the Fireflies probably or something like that. And it's all going to be missions based off of that. I think this will be quite cool.
Because I could see a Battle Royale version of it kind of working. So where like you come in with, it'd probably be less, probably be like 30 to 50 people instead of like 100. And the games would probably run longer, but instead of, gas or a storm, it'd be like a herd.
Herd of infection.
Yeah, they're just pushing you into the middle. And then, the last guy gets on the helicopter or something. I could see that working, but I think your version of it's way better. Yeah. I wouldn't want that, but I could see them going for it.
PlayStation making a lot of multiplayer games now, so I guess they've sort of gone to all of their studios and went. Dr.
Disrespect was right though. This game's going to flop unless it has a battle royale.
It's true.
What if it comes out with both? That could actually bang, where like people come on and they're going to play some of the battle royale, or
it ends up being
some mates.
Exactly like Fortnite, where they start off with the Save the World.
Right. And then before you know it, it's Kratos flossing.
Kratos and Master Chief next to each other, flossing it up. It's like, cool, that's good. You should do that with your brand.
The worst thing as well is I don't hate Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't. But what they do to IPs is like, because they're so strong, everyone just conforms to them. And it's like, what?
Although I will say, apparently now that they are doing no build and they took all the building out, apparently it's like legit just good fun.
Well, that's the thing that I hated about Fortnite is that people, you'd fire one bullet and they'd build the Taj Mahal behind you. You'd be like, okay, so now what?
Have you seen there's like a video or a gif where some guy shoots a dude, it does exactly that, it just rips all the way up to the top. While he's doing that, the guy emotes into like a lawn chair, sipping a drink, just waiting for the dude to finish, and then he pops over the side and the guy's quick snipe.
Because he gets like to a vantage point, but he's waiting there with like a sniper.
Anyway, that's sort of like one of those things about Fortnite, but apparently it's just good fun now, so.
Oh, that's good to hear, that's good to hear.
But, I mean, I don't, even as someone that sort of, I dabble in Apex. I haven't downloaded Fortnite for it, but I could see, apparently it's good fun, but like I don't know, man.
Nah, I re-downloaded Battlefield 2042 because they did an update.
Yeah.
I got sucked in because they're like, new updates out. We've done a lot of quality of life things, and some people were playing and saying it's good. But then I hear from Tom Henderson, who's like an insider leaker who knows a lot about Battlefield, is that apparently it's been brought down to a skeleton crew, a bit like Battlefront.
Oh, God,
and I was like, great. So even if I do enjoy this, nothing's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, they won't change it. So. That's terrible news. And this is a game that I've given up on anyway. I just have no hope of going back. But weird thing though, I would go back to Battlefront 2 though.
Yeah.
That was a really good game. By the end of it, it was a fantastic game. So
did you see Mario played so much that he
unlocked the Darth Maul legs.
Darth Maul legs. That's apparently have to get
5,000
kills. I thought it was 5,000 kills. Jesus Christ.
I think it's 5,000 kills with dark side heroes.
Okay.
Which isn't too difficult. It also depends if it's
fucking time consuming.
Because the way the game works is that you get credit for elims and kills are sort of different. You good? Bless you. I couldn't steal it.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Damn it.
Now that sneeze has been robbed from you, it's all you want now. The way the game works is if you sort of like it counts elims as assists. So if you get damage on a guy, it goes towards your elims.
Right.
So if it's 5,000 of those, I could get that. I'll pull like 50 elim games fairly often. Yeah. So you could do that with. It's not too hard, but.
To be fair, when you're a dark side character, there's very rarely times where you don't get one-hit kills. Yeah. Especially on like troopers.
Yeah.
They're pretty much going to go down straight away. All right, that's all of the Last of Us stuff right there. Let us know in the comment section how you feel about that. The next thing, they showed off MW2. They showed off like a campaign gameplay. It looked more like Call of Duty. I'm kind of worried because I was very excited for MW2, and I think it was just the nostalgia that was grabbing me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when I saw it, I was like, it looks like Call of Duty.
I'll say, it looks like we're remaking the game from the ground up. No, you're not, because we played this map in COD 4.
Yeah.
Right, and Modern Warfare 2. Like, we've played that ship a bunch of times. One of the things that I think is a problem is they should just get some beast on the sticks to play the game.
Yeah.
They have, like, someone from The Office play it, and it looks like, I mean, they all but like look around, like that. Do you know what I mean?
They're doing the cinematic thing where they're like, wow.
Yeah, but we don't want to see it. What you should do is spawn into the map, look around. Wow, wasn't this pretty? And then go and like beast mode.
Yeah.
On, you know, look, I want to see the reason we get the game is the fast-paced action, whether it's the campaign or the multiplayer, right? That's what we need to see. So I'm kind of with you. Also, one of the things that made Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 so good, they did a lot of risky stuff. Like there's that one mission at the beginning of Modern Warfare 2.
Yes.
That wouldn't fly today, I don't think. And I thought it was a great mission.
Russia are the bad guys, so it's okay. Oh wait, no, you talk about the airport scene.
Yeah. Like I just know it went balls to the wall, and also people wouldn't tolerate the multiplayer now.
Yeah.
Which was kind of why it worked. It was so broken that it kind of bounced out.
Yeah.
And also they just didn't give a frick. They didn't change anything. that you could get inside that rock for 8 months. So
people avoid the rocks. Like, no, go into the rock, don't go into the rock.
Or flash it to go past it. You come out of that cave and just flash the
every
rock.
Time hit markers, like for fuck's sake.
Every time.
The thing that they did mention Warzone 2.0. Apparently there's a new version of Warzone in the making that's going to be coming also later this year.
Yeah.
It'll be part of the whole Modern Warfare 2 theme when it starts up. That's cool and everything, but the really dumb thing is that they said that it would run alongside Warzone. So Warzone will continue, and Warzone 2.0 will come out as well. And both of them are still going to be last-gen compatible. Yeah. So it's not even like this is a next-gen only type thing or something like that. That's a bad idea because...
That seems strange to me, because GTA 5 GTA Online has proved that if you just keep it up to date, people will still play it. Why add a competitor? Why split your customer base?
Exactly. That's the thing. And also, I think they're really worried in case like they mess it up and then people don't want to play anymore. Yeah. But the problem is if you mess it up, people are just going to be playing the old one. Then what? Are you going to continue to support the new one?
Right.
If there's nobody playing it,
and then the other thing as well is not just splitting your customer base, you're splitting your team.
Yeah.
Like these things run constantly. It's 24 hours. You got guys that need to maintain the servers. There's always a bug that you didn't find gets hot patched. That's why sometimes you log on and there's that bar just goes.
Every time I've logged onto Warzone, there's always an internal update where they do an update and it has to restart the game, and I'm like, fucking hell.
Right, because I mean the game's massive, so like
that's one thing I hope they fix with the 2.0 is that it's not so fucking massive. That maybe they're like, we need to start from scratch in order to reduce this thing down to something even reasonable.
I think it's just we've got spoiled with Sony.
Yeah.
Because they are just masters at making the games fit. And then, aside from that, it's the Kraken compression that they have. Yeah. So, like, not only are these games optimized so incredibly well that they're tiny, relatively speaking, to begin with, then they get compressed like another 25% or 30%. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So that a game that from anybody else would be 140 gigs is like 85.
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible, really.
Yeah.
So we're kind of spoiled there. I don't know if it's... I think these guys should be able to get it done.
That's something reasonable. These guys are in like the 200 gigs now. And
it shouldn't be 200 gigs for one game. Yeah. Especially a game with like no campaign and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, but it's got all these stuff. Okay, why isn't that cloud based?
I was gonna say there should be a lot of stuff that's like, okay,
server
distance is far away, so you don't need to run it.
Right.
However it works anyway. That's all the Modern Warfare 2 stuff right there. That's gonna be coming out. They were very excited about it. I'm still a little bit excited. I probably will still get it to play the campaign.
Yeah, probably nostalgia.
Yeah, for that. But I do have the feeling that I'm just gonna be disappointed like every Call of Duty game whenever it comes out.
I feel you.
Next, these are some games that I found particularly interesting. Fort Solis, which is a game that actually has Troy Baker and Roger Clark in it. The guy who played Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, and Troy Baker, he plays everything. They're in it. It's an indie game, so they went to a smaller studio just to do some sort of a passion project. It's about an engineer that's on another planet, and I think like a keeper that's there as well. It looks very, very cool. It looks very, very interesting. I can't wait for that to come out.
Looks niche.
I like that it's big guys helping out some small guys every now and again to come in. It's a bit like the 12 minutes thing.
Yeah.
When it was like Willem Dafoe, it was like, oh, this is
Willem
awesome.
Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, what?
James McAvoy, what? It was great. It was great stuff.
It's cool.
Routine. We only got a small teaser for this, and I didn't know this, but apparently it was revealed a decade ago. and they must have gone through some issues or something like that, and they re-revealed it, but obviously updated it now. It looks very, very nice, very, very scary. Imagine Alien Isolation, set in like the 80s and 60s tech or whatever. Terminators. Slash, the heads look like something from Five Nights at Freddy. And I was like, oh boy, this is scary.
It looked really good. I'm so not about it, but it looked really good. Like a bit of me, like an idiot, wants to play Alien Isolation because I love Alien. I love those movies and I love sci-fi, but I hate scary stuff.
They did that game quite well. I remember getting like the little radar thing. You're like, it's somewhere along here, but is it above me? Is it below me?
That's the most infuriating thing. Like,
I don't know.
If you know where it is, it's not scary, and it's just like this one blurry dot in a general direction. Like, no, please. And also, you only know it's like that way, above, below,
around the corner.
Like, it's like, oh, it's in this room. But where? Where in the room?
And it's like, we're in the dark. Can it see me? It doesn't have eyes. Can it see me? Can it not see me? I don't know. What do I do? And then we saw the extended, gory version, the Schofield cut, they called it. Snide, obviously, is the blueprint for everything. The Schofield cut of the Callisto Protocol trailer. It was the same trailer, except at the end, just so much more gore, so much more killing. In the trailer, the first one that you saw, the guy gets his head bitten by one of these monsters. In the gory version, it gets bitten, and then like ripped side to side and pulled back, and you hear screaming, like you hear murmuring, and then half of his head gets bitten off. So like the back part of his head is still there, and like bottom jaw, and then the top part is just off. And I'm like, oh God!
It was something. And the worst thing is, I don't wanna, but I wanna play it, but I don't.
It Dead Space, guys. Come on.
That's the thing. Dead Space was so good. Even I played it and enjoyed it. And this just looks like, I think I said it before, it looks like they got everybody together and someone came in and they were like, we don't know what to do next. And someone was like, I found this game by Kojima. Everybody should play it. Go home, play this game called PT. And then come back and we'll talk about things. Like, no, why? But it looks so good.
Come back all traumatized.
Right. Yeah, it looks so good, and these dudes are so impressive, and I think what's going to happen is this is going to be a Bungie 343 thing, where the guys that made Dead Space go off and make Callisto Protocol, and they remake Dead Space, and it's just not the same, innit?
Yeah, I mean they're doing this. At least they're doing the safe option with the Dead Space thing. They're doing the same thing. Whereas like 343 were trying to just take what they had before and make something of their own, and it's just been failing ever
Talking
since.
of the safe option, Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes. Banjo-Kazooie. It's just a rumor right now, isn't it? Or did we see something?
I thought it was a well-regarded leak. Is what is off the top of my head.
Oh yeah. No, it was a leak, wasn't it? But it wasn't shown at the showcase, which was done.
No. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean,
I was wondering what the fuck's going on there.
Phil, if you're going to watch and take ideas from us, which, that's why we're giving it out for free. We're not even sending you the consulting fee. Frickin' show the game. Or announce it at least. And I mean, mate, you're like 5 years behind. How long have I been asking for this?
Exactly. We've been. Maybe he's in the backlog of our shows. He's not really caught up.
Yeah, he's just catching up there. He's still in like 2019.
So the last game that I wanted to talk about that was shown off at State of Play. Summer Game Fest.
Was Scorn shown? No, it was the Xbox event, wasn't it?
Xbox Showcase.
Yeah. Scorn was the only interesting thing to me in that. Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. The only other thing that was worth mentioning, kind of, was that while I believe there were less ads in Summer Game Fest this year, the cheesiness and the egregiousness of them went up tenfold.
Can we... I want to say The Rock is just a corporate show at this point. And I might have said it on this podcast, or it might have been a personal thing, but like I get the impression... Ryan Reynolds. I feel like we could hang out with Ryan. Right? We could just chill. We could watch movies, play games, poker night, whatever. I feel like I'd like to meet The Rock, but I don't think I'd want to go for a beer with him.
No, that's the thing. Ever since I heard that apparently in movies he he talks with the directors and producers and stuff like that to say that he can't take certain amounts of damage or get beaten by certain people because it would affect his image. I was like, for fuck's sake, bruv, you're an actor.
Yeah.
You're in whatever position I put you in.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Mate, if Henry Cavill, who I like The Rock and I like his, you know, like I like his stuff a bit. It's all the same movie, but Henry Cavill is 10 times the actor that The Rock is, and has, in my opinion, 10 times the superhero / action figure position.
Yeah.
He gets murked in like 50% of his stuff. Even as Superman, the guy gets a rich dude clapped his cheeks.
Yeah.
You know, like it's okay. You're an actor, and the point of a hero is that you struggle. The point of climbing the mountain is it's insurmountable. You find yourself at the very bottom and climb to the very top. You don't just get a lift to the top and be like, hey, I conquered the mountain. It's stupid. Anyway, corporate shill. Really, that was terrible. And obviously he had no idea what he was talking about. He just read the lines.
He came on, he promoted his energy drink festival.
Yeah.
The fastest growing energy drink out there on the market. Go check it out in stores everywhere.
By the way.
And then he did his face thing was like, and I'm like, we didn't ask.
Also, he was in the middle of a workout or something. Right. Like he didn't even. It was
obviously just
fit this in. Like I was saying, you know, about Ryan Reynolds was the example I gave. Yeah. I genuinely want to try his gin, mainly because of Ryan Reynolds. It could be shit, but I want to try it. Right? Yeah. No desire whatsoever. As an energy drink devotee, I have no desire at all to try like
not at all.
Whatever it was called.
No. Anyway, they showed off the Black Adam trailer, and he shilled that for a little bit, and that was that,
So I 100%, I said it was kind of a joke, but I 100% thought that it was supposed to be a Shazam 2 thing. I thought when we heard that he was playing Black Adam, that he was going to be the villain in Shazam 2. That's what I thought. Yeah. But we're getting an origin movie, which would be okay if DC had done more of these. We've always said they needed to go wider, right?
Yeah.
Wider and deeper. They like the example is that Marvel, by the time Avengers came out, everyone in it had 1 or 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then they did Avengers, and then they all got third movies and stuff, right? With we got like 2 Superman movies, and then a Batman versus Superman movie, and then they did Justice League before Wonder Woman was even out.
That's
right?
It.
It's completely wrong. So I'm all cool with having like a villain story almost, which would be okay, but like it would be the first of DC doing this, and then I don't trust DC to, you know, be fair to people.
Yeah.
The only good thing it seems like they're doing is reshooting stuff for Aquaman 2, which that was, by the way, a deal breaker for me. I wasn't even going to pirate the movie if she was in it. I don't know even if that's true so far. There's a rumor, but then obviously Amber Heard comes out and completely like says that it's false. These are false rumors. But I'm like, I don't trust you anyway. You were lying to us all before anyway. So who knows? Until that happens, I won't say There was
anything.
a campaign to get Bruce Campbell to reshoot all of her scenes. Yes! And he retweeted and he was like, send me the script.
Send me the script.
And I was like, you know what? I would actually, and I'm not joking, I'd go and see the movie if they reshoot it with Bruce Campbell as Mira, and just no one says anything about it, and it's sort of like that little inside joke. I'd still watch it and I'd take it seriously. I think that'd be hilarious.
That would be
hilarious. Just reshoot the scenes completely, but still, like, she's a deal breaker for me personally. Yeah. So.
And that's everything from the Summer Game Fest.
What a shill! Oh my god! Yeah, I hope the movie's good, but like, ugh.
It's unfortunate.
It left a bad taste in my mouth, innit?
It's unfortunate how he's done that, because I liked The Rock back in the WWF days.
Me too.
And I liked him every time he came back to do a thing. I was like, this is cool. It's fun. It
was cool to see him in Fast and Furious and stuff, cheesy and whatever, but he
quickly lost it. Quickly lost all of that appeal. Anyway, let's kick it over now to the Xbox and Bethesda showcase.
Okay.
This is all the stuff that I mentioned there. I'm going to kick it off first of all with Tailgate's comment. He wrote into our Discord server, just like you guys can, by clicking the link in the description.
That's right.
And he says, my personal highlights were Starfield and Redfall. Largely what people were thinking anyway.
Yeah.
Redfall looks like a dumb fun game to switch my brain off to when I've got nothing else to play. And I'm looking forward to Starfield because I've been craving an open world space game. Anyways, as someone who likes Xbox in a non-console war way,
yeah, sure,
I'm really disappointed in Xbox's first party's outings for this year. We are getting nothing from them, and all the games that were supposed to be for this year have been delayed. I'm tired of Xbox constantly saying that that it's been a record year for them, even though they've released nothing.
Right.
This is something I'm going to bring up as well. I'm so happy with my Series S. I'm so happy my Series S isn't my main console and I have a PlayStation 5, because if I didn't, it would have been even worse for me. Yeah. I'm also going to play all of the third-party games I'm looking forward to on my PS5, since I want to experience the best versions of those games. These days, I mostly use my Series S for whatever game interests me that gets added to Game Pass, and I play Fortnite with friends. Yeah. Sorry for the long one, lads. Wasn't that long?
That wasn't. That was great.
Yeah, I just need to get out my frustrations on Xbox's inability to deliver games.
So there are a couple of things. One, normally we do try to be fair and say, you know, the Xbox, the Series X is a pretty good console. Generally true, but all the benchmarks have shown that the PS5, for whatever reason, is kind of vastly outperforming. Not vastly, but it's a good bit ahead. Yeah. Like 20 or almost 30%. It's a fair bit. But it's, you know, it's a good enough console. So if that was your main console, at least, you know, if you're playing these third parties on the Series X, it's at least a good machine. It's not like a Series S or like a previous gen machine. But man,
the biggest thing there for me was that like you said, no first party games coming out this year. This is completely zero. Yeah. And also the bit that really got me and that frustrated me on stream as well, Phil Spencer going up there saying it's a record breaking year, we've been doing this and that, and I'm like,
you've got nothing to show.
You've done your fans are sitting out there with no games, worrying about when the next game is. That's why they've tuned into this, and you're telling them it's going to have to be next year, an undetermined time, because you haven't given a date for that. And you're standing there with the audacity to say we are doing great.
I mean,
it's just a little bit.
At least he didn't a month before come out and say, "I'm here at the offices for Starfield. It's going to be ready. It's going to be amazing. Wait, you know, expect for it."
Yeah. And
then look, Tailgate, I'm glad you're excited for these games. I was really disappointed with both of them. I called immediately. I was like, "Well, Redfall's Redfall." I didn't think it looked good enough to be a first-party exclusive from the only other thing in the console war. Right? It wasn't a very good counterpunch to anything Sony's put out, which I'm sure of the like 7 or 8 multiplayer stuff. Some of those are going to flop, of course it will, which will be good for the Xbox propaganda. At least we will be able to fairly compare, like, oh, well, this was crappy, but so was this PlayStation product, right? Yeah. The only downside to that is, well, look at all these other good products and the total number of them. The big thing for me, like, I think we have to address it. Starfield. I don't think it looks good at all.
Let's jump right into that then.
Talking of things that fail. Our True Gamers.
Oh shit, we didn't mention them at all, did we?
Over on patreon.com/Conbrosations, who make this podcast in particular happen. Our True Gamers at the $5 tier, who have you got it up yet? Freaking hell, I'm trying to say nice things about these douchebags. Yeah, you got it. Cool.
Yeah, so our True Gamers, who we never forget, who we always remember to talk about. Adam, High Quality Potato, Jeremy Horde, Sheps is Krusty Reitner, Isak Manny, The Bat Fan, Adam Sunling, Clark 53rd, Mikey T, Cats Bacoral, Sab2557, Joe McCormack, Super Whale Ben, The Boys Season 3 Streamcast. It's never happened. I'm sorry, we're never going to do that. I got into a point where I was completely ignoring any time Diogo mentioned it in the chat. I was like, what was that, Diogo?
No, I don't. That's weird.
True Gams, Gams True Master. Hashtag make the nice guys too, please, for the whole love of holy fuck Hollywood. Gerald Tucker, Fishy, The Jackal, Alpha, Max H, and Make Bin this mod. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at the True Game Podcast.
I want to start out this whole like beef about Starfield.
Go on, let's talk about Starfield.
Tailgate's excited for it. And I'm genuinely, and a few people say, oh, you don't have to be condescending. I'm not being condescending. I mean it, right? Like, I like that other people enjoy things that I don't like. My hot take is Horizon Zero Dawn. I say it's shit. Everybody else loves it. I'm glad for them, because I wanted to like it. I'm glad you feel that way. I didn't like it. And I'm going to tell you what I honestly think. Because I'm not a games journalist that will tell you a crappy game's good, or that God of War isn't a tender story, because I only played 3.5 minutes of it, right? I'm not an idiot. So I'm glad, and I hope it's what you want. To me, the fact that Starfield and Redfall were are supposed to be these big hitters. They're supposed to go up against, whether they mean it for it or not, it's going to go up against Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. It's going to go up against The Last of Us 1 and 2. It's going to go up against God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, the list goes on.
As a bunch of games, or as a showcase that was supposed to show why you should buy an Xbox over PlayStation's because of PlayStation's first-party games, it didn't level the playing field.
Well, let's talk about that before we even talk about the game. The fact that this thing was an hour and a bit long, 90 minutes, right?
90 minutes, yeah.
90 minutes. And 5 of it at the very end. Like, you had 90 minutes, they filled it with fluff, mostly, and then right at the end, I was certain they were going to end it and show nothing, and I was getting ready to light Phil Spencer. In fact, I did say on Twitter, I was like, "Yo, Phil, so when you starting your stand-up career? Because you know, like if you think that was an okay showcase, like obviously you're transitioning to stand-up comedy." The fact that they waited all that way to the very end, and that's all we saw, just rubbed me wrong. It rubbed me the wrong way. It just, and then let's talk about what they showed, man.
Can I say something first of all about the show?
Go for it.
So, the Xbox showcase in general, while I didn't think it was good, I think it was quite mediocre, actually, quite mid. I liked a couple of things about it. The flowing into another game very quickly getting on.
They've really got that down.
I like that a lot.
It's a great presentation style, yeah.
If there was something that I didn't like, it wasn't on there for too long, I could move on to the next thing. They showed everything they showed was within 12 months of the showcase.
Yep.
So no more of seeing things that are 1,000 years out that we're going to see 1,000 times before they come out. That was cool. However, that means that we only got to see 3 actual first-party games.
Yes. I do,
and one of them is Forza.
Yeah. So. Look,
which is infinitely more than 2022, by the way, because 2022 had 0 games.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's more, so that's great.
I don't think Forza counts.
That's the thing.
I don't think Call of Duty counts. I don't think FIFA counts. And I know those are third party, but it's the kind of game that gets churned out all the time. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it's just a quick cash grab all the time and whatnot. But something else that really bothered me. So, they showed off a bunch of games and they were saying like console launch exclusive, world premiere.
Only a couple of world premieres, which I'm really happy about because I was so bored of world premiere.
Like, dude. And I love they took the voice out. They're like, cool, thank God.
Yeah,
thank Jesus.
He was really getting on my nerves.
Exactly. But they showed a lot of console launch exclusives.
Yeah.
However, after the showcase came out, 2 things happened that really kind of grinded my gears. That really sort of called the whole thing into question. One, it showed a couple of games on there that actually weren't console launch exclusives. They were coming to multi-platform.
Yeah.
Things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They said was a console launch exclusive. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Twitter account was like, no, we're launching on every platform.
Yeah, the way that they get away with this is aggressive corporatism, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's just PR statements, and which is, look, I know PlayStation make them as well, but at least it doesn't feel like I'm being lied to.
This is a straight up lie. And then there's a second thing which was actually really shitty that I didn't like, which means that I can't call into question everything now, is that Xbox apparently mandated a 2-day embargo on all of the games that were shown at their conference, so they can't talk about what other platforms it's coming to. So if there was another platform, if it was coming maybe in a week, or if it was going to come a month after launch, or 2 years after launch, whatever it's going to be, any game that was shown off was given the opportunity to be shown off at the showcase, had a 2-day embargo where they can't talk about anything but that. The reason for that is so that when it gets all the press coverage from like all of the websites, it says coming to Xbox because that's the information they've got. And then 2 days later, actually, it's coming to everywhere else as well.
When nobody cares.
And the thing is, and they're not going to bother because journalists are journalists, they don't care. They're not going to go back and edit it. And even if they did, no one's going to see it.
Yeah, there is a massive mosquito flying around in here.
Fuck that guy. But that's... It's that combined with the lies of what platforms is coming to in the first place that really made me hate all of the stuff that was in this.
Sony are a soulless corporation. They don't care about you, but they're making the most money off you because currently the best way to do it is to serve you well with good games. Microsoft are just a soulless, heartless corporation. They're not, in my opinion, serving you with good games. Any game that's coming out isn't anywhere near a timely fashion. Like, I'm really excited for the Banjo-Kazooie thing, because that was a leak, that means it won't be announced for 2 years. It won't be coming out for another 7, and when it does come out, it's going to be a flop. That's the current trajectory, right? Let's talk about Starfield.
Yes, let's do that, because that's just the first bit I wanted to get out of the way. Do you want to say any more about Starfield before I go into it?
I'm going to tear it to shreds. So if you've got anything good to say, let's get out of the way.
Let me lay out the facts that we've got here. So Starfield confirmed to be coming to Xbox and PC. First space game, space RPG from the guys who make Fallout, from Bethesda. If you love Bethesda RPGs, those ones with a soulless character that doesn't have a voice that I said.
We're gonna get to it.
We're gonna get into that. If you like that, then this is your type of game. It's set in space and stuff like that. Afterwards, it was confirmed that it's targeting 4K 30 FPS, even though it's a next-gen game only. Bit odd.
We're going to get to it.
Yep.
These are just the facts.
These are just the facts. Main story said to be around about 30 to 40 hours. Sounds quite nice. Everyone will have the same beginning and end point to the game, so you start, you end in the same place. It's not like a multiple ending type thing. There'll be 4 main cities in the entire game. 4, that's all. Atlantis being the biggest one of them. And apparently it's 20%, one of the biggest cities that they've made in any Bethesda game.
It's the biggest they've ever made.
Exactly. Yeah. And 20% more handcrafted content in the whole game than any Bethesda game before. And I was like, that sounds really cool.
That sounds good, yeah.
I like the idea of more handcrafted content. But lots of procedurally generated stuff, obviously, because Todd Howard mentioned that there will be over 100 systems and over 1,000 planets in the game. Yeah. That will likely be empty and barren. They also confirmed that there will be no seamless flight from space to planet or planet to space. Meaning that if you want to land on a planet, and Todd said you can land anywhere apparently, it will be a cutscene. Yeah. It'll be a loading screen. That's what it will be.
What will probably happen is you'll fly up to the planet and then you'll transition. Your guy will get up, look at a computer screen. You'll come to the computer screen and select where on. You'll turn it around and go, I want to land here. Then it will cut to cutscene, just like in Destiny, that never got old, and you'll land there, right?
Yeah.
Those are all of our facts.
Those are all of the facts. Go.
We'll start there. Get fucked.
That's pretty bad, isn't it? I don't like that.
It's not what we were taught. It's not technically a lie. I'm sure legally.
It calls into question, my opinion, the thing that Todd Howard said, well, you can land anywhere on the planet. Right. So I'm like, so hold on, have you got a cutscene ready for every single possible trajectory onto the planet?
Well, that's the thing. It will have to be procedurally generated. Maybe that'd be in-game rendered, but then what's the point of why do I need the cutscene?
I think it would have to be.
It will have
predetermined locations. It won't be anywhere on the planet.
It'll give you spots, but you'll get 5 different locations on each continent.
Yeah, because
anywhere.
Because how would you know? So say you go, I want to land here. You don't know what it looks like when you get down there. Yeah. And then when you're playing, when you open your eyes in the game and you're just there, it's like, okay, this must be the place. Can you then go back out and then go 5 meters forward and then land? And then are you going to be in a different place? Right. Or is it just going to land you in the same place because actually it's predetermined location?
Helipads or whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't mind if it's predetermined locations. What I mind is the deceitfulness. If he says you can land anywhere, but you can't see where you're landing, so we're gonna land you just somewhere here, don't worry about it. Then why do you need to lie to me?
Just like the way I land in other games, like in Ratchet and Clank, I can land anywhere. I can select the planet, or even Mass Effect,
or even the comparison that everyone's making, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, you can go straight down into the planet.
Very early on,
I tweeted out, land anywhere you like.
I tweeted out basically No Man's Sky. The Sickfords came at me for that, and I'm like, well, everybody else is seeing it, and then Gerg gets on it, and I'm like, yeah, look, exactly what I said.
This is funny because they do it because it's us.
Yeah,
that's what the problem is.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone made the comparison.
Real, isn't it? Yeah, it's just us, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's an issue for me. I don't mind if it's predetermined locations. I just mind if it's a lie to me.
Yeah,
don't tell me something if it's not true.
Yeah, like they said, you can land anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that isn't really what you're giving us. Also, I don't want 1,000 planets and 100 systems. Give me 5. Give me seriously 5 with 3 planets apiece. That's 15 planets they can actually explore. Even that's probably too many. The Witcher, we do half a continent, and it's 117 hours to complete the whole thing. We don't need it. It won't be interesting. You think I want to spend 2 hours walking across a freaking desert? My man's did that 2,000 years ago. We don't need to be trekking 40 years across the desert. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need this.
That was the part that got me as well. So some people were really tried to fall back on the idea, well, it's space. This is the universe. It's authentic. Yeah. And I'm like, and I made a video about it and I said, look, authentic doesn't mean fun, and video games are supposed to be fun. Yeah. Like in movies, I brought up The Martian because it's another space thing. I was like, Mark Watney knows exactly where the Pathfinder probe is. He knows the pinpoint accuracy to go to that certain place, dig one hole, find the probe straight away, and pull it out. Imagine if they showed you the real way it would have been done. He'd have known the general location, dug about 100 holes 10 feet deep, died in the process of it. But let's say if he didn't.
Absolutely dead.
Exactly. Let's say if he didn't die, it would have been 80 hours long. We don't want the 80 hours. That's why it's been cut out. Like, same thing here. We don't want 1,000 planets that are going to have nothing on them because it's impossible to craft that much content.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to do it procedurally generated, and it's not going to be meaningful.
Nobody wants reality. It's a game. Like, in hacking things, I don't want to spend 16 hours working through the back end of someone's servers. That's why, like in The Matrix, he types run code, hits enter, done, and hacks the system.
Done.
Like, hacking isn't cool.
Or like connect the dots in like...
Right. Or when someone's like, oh, I jerry-rigged the camera. You spent 16 hours delicately soldering circuit board. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a video game. It's okay.
Right. So I was like, look, they didn't, and listen, they chose to do it. Yeah. And it stinks of the usual video game and thing, Ubisoft. Exactly.
Just make it big.
Make it bigger, and therefore it's cooler. Yeah. And I'm like, and I don't know which game, why the game makers have got this in their heads. We didn't ask for bigger, ridiculous-sized games. Yeah. We just asked for meaningful content. Like, if you can make it big and make it meaningful, fucking hats off to you.
Yeah, great, do it.
But if you can't do that, then don't.
Yeah. Why?
Make 10 planets. Make 20 planets, whatever it's going to be. Spend a little bit extra time, do 20 planets and do that. Yeah. That's more than enough,
Yeah.
But if you're telling me 1,000 planets you've got, and you've got 4 cities.
Right?
4 cities. And you've got...
Horizon Forbidden West is about as big as a game really needs to be.
Right.
And did it pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't... Why would you do more?
Yeah.
So it just smacks of like, well, let's fill it with stuff. Don't worry about the quality. Also, how good's the story going to be?
This is the thing. I don't know.
Bethesda's normally okay, but the thing is, people will not get over the fact that they made Skyrim and New Vegas.
This brings me to a
grow
point,
up.
Right?
It's been a decade.
I almost don't want to play Starfield because of the fandom. The people who are defending anything Starfield is
looking
doing,
at you, Isak,
or anything that Todd Howard does.
Yeah.
It really grinds my gears because I made a simple point, right? And I wasn't attacking anyone or saying that their version is incorrect or what they've done. I simply said, look, you guys are making a voiceless character.
We're going to talk about this.
I prefer to have a voiced character and me play as a badass dude or a badass woman and be badass like that.
Yep.
They're like, oh, it's a Bethesda RPG. You always play as a voiceless character. I'm like, cool, no problem.
That was a great way to do it 15 years ago.
Exactly. And why did they? And they tried to do it in Fallout 4. They tried to give a voice. Apparently, they flopped on that. Apparently,
it wasn't very good.
It was very bland. It was flat. And I'm like, cool, no problem.
It was terribly done.
That means Bethesda can't do it. Yeah. That means they've done a bad job. That doesn't mean that it's not the way to do it because everyone else does other RPGs and they put a character in it. That's fine. But when I come up with that point, you can't tell me, oh, I'm wrong for thinking that. It's just because they've done it badly. Now, that was just my opinion. I put it to the side. Everyone started to flame me as if like I came up with the most dumbest suggestion in the world. And meanwhile, they go out and they play other games with voiced characters and RPGs, and I'm the idiot.
So, one, it's an opinion, right? Yeah. I prefer games with a voiced protagonist, right? Opinion. What is a fact is Bethesda are lazy, and they could have done it. And just because they did it before, like, do you want to play every game as Pac-Man? Because that's the way it was done before. Yeah, they did it before. Games update.
Yeah.
We're going to use the same engine that they made Fallout 3 on? No. Like, things should be updated.
I think it... When was the creation engine made? Because I think it's the same one. I think it's the same one.
Like, one, they did try it. I think it was Fallout 4, and it didn't go very well because they did a shit job of it.
Yeah.
And two... Other than like something like Skyrim, you can't name me a good game that doesn't have a voice protagonist. Like, and I mean like one of the greats. Seriously, try it.
I can't think of anything yet.
No. So, and I saw some of the replies to you like, oh, it's supposed to be your voice. Well, first of all, they're giving me other dialogue.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get to choose what the dialogue is. So it's not my voice. And secondly, do you expect me to like read out loud when I'm playing the game? Oh, I choose to do... Like, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't make sense.
That's the thing.
It's a cop-out. It's incredibly lazy.
I don't... that's what I think it is. They put it on their Twitter page, like, yes, your character's having a voice. And I'm like... This just strikes as like you tried to do it once, you realized that you weren't good enough to do it, so you've gone back to doing this version, which is the lazy default.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Because it can be done. It's everything else. Everybody's like top 10 games that aren't like Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim or Morrowind for ESERC.
Yeah.
Every single one has voice protagonist. Every single one. Name me one. Yeah. And even the best example, I think, is The Witcher 3, because Geralt is specifically supposed to have a voice that isn't easy to listen to.
Right.
It's one of his character traits, because it makes him even more uncomfortable to be around as a Witcher. And that game's still incredible. And I vibe with Geralt, and I like Geralt, and I want to hear him speak and say these lines.
Yeah. People, do you know what their argument was to me saying things like Geralt, for example? Yeah. They're like, he's a predefined character. I'm like, yes, if you're going to give a character a voice, you usually have to predefine them.
Yeah.
If you are going to go the lazy route and you're not going to give them a voice, then you don't give them then they're not predefined. Bethesda could have done exactly the same thing. They could have come up with a character. They could have come up with a first, but either male or female, done the same thing and made them badass. But they didn't because they're just not talented enough to do it.
Yeah, or lazy enough that they don't care. And I mean, that's actually an incredible point. You're right about predetermined characters, because a game like, I don't know, let's say Mass Effect could never do both genders, where you completely choose whether you go good, Paragon or Renegade, and make both actors and character decisions and romances, regardless of gender and who you pick, compelling, incredible, immersive experiences. Can't be done. No,
Sheps, this is a Bethesda RPG, okay? The way it's supposed to be, and if you do anything else, then it's just bad, okay?
You know?
Anyway, again, and then we have to go back to the thought that, like we said before, Starfield was coming out. It's like, we're nervous because the last good thing they did maybe was Fallout New Vegas.
Or Skyrim.
Or Skyrim, sorry.
Skyrim. I think Skyrim's newer, yeah.
And I mean, like, Fallout 4, regarded not as a good one.
It was weak.
Yeah, exactly. Fallout 76, garbage. And this is where we're at right now, so...
Also, how long has this game been in development for? Because apparently it started working after 76.
I think 6 years it's been, something like that now. So it's been a while.
So, but at least the action is high octane.
So that's another thing.
Yeah.
The combat is utter garbage.
We dropped frames in their promo material. We dropped frames. I counted 3 times.
This was 20 FPS max. This thing was running at. This is the combat system is garbage. So, just so you know as well, before we get into the combat, I'm gonna say some praise part to it, because I do think it's a very cool setting.
It's a very cool setting. It looks very good.
And when he was flying around in the ship, I was like, I like the space look. I like the space look. It's super good. Yeah. And I like the base building because I'm an idiot like that. And I do love the shipbuilding. I was like,
the shipbuilding looks cool. I'm going to definitely build a cock.
Ship. Shipbuilding was good. And the story looked interesting.
It looks
they were like, there's like an artifact thing. You touch it and then you get visions. And I was like, okay. Yeah,
that's not been done in any other game. But yeah,
I was gonna say,
I'm not beefing them out for that.
I was like, I think I've seen this before.
There's only like 3 stories in the universe. Like,
exactly.
They're all remakes of something.
But I was like, this looks cool. This looks very good, and I like that a lot. And I like there was different factions as well that you can kind of be with and like pretend to be with. So that was all cool. Going back though, the combat looked utter garbage,
dog shit.
And again, I got people coming to me. They're like, it's a Bethesda game. Bethesda games have always got garbage combat. I'm like, that's not an excuse.
How's okay? Also, it's a game that's coming out in 2020. Let's pretend it was coming out this year, 2022. Somewhere in the 2020s.
You can't
just been in development for. If it came out in 2020, it would have been in development for 5 years, right? But so like, you can't just keep making garbage stuff,
right? It's like, do you know what? Like, I stabbed this person the other day, but to be fair, I've always been stabbing people.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make it better.
You can't just keep making crap and then go, okay, we're continuing to be crap. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand the argument. Anyway, it looked garbage. It didn't look like it was supposed to be good to play.
The space combat looked trash, I gotta say. I don't enjoy space combat. I just have never been my thing. You're really good, actually, at the Battlefront 2 fighter stuff.
I looked at it and I was like, do you know what? This could be good. Yeah. However, I'm still worried about that one developer that was confirmed to be a Bethesda developer who said that the flying doesn't feel good. And I'm wondering if when we get it, it's going to be like, yeah, this actually doesn't feel good.
I got to say, it didn't look very good, which could just be what they picked or who they picked to play it, right? Because whoever was playing it obviously wasn't some monster 10 KD guy, right? But, you know, in the combat, it was dropping frames. Combat was very sluggish, and like we saw similar combat from the Modern Warfare 2 remake thing. And yeah, while that was slow, it was very slick in comparison, right? Even if it wasn't action-packed. Doesn't look good. The flying looks like the Battlefront 2 stuff did it better. And this is supposed to be a first-party premier console pusher and Game Pass subscriber gainer.
Yeah.
And Tailgate, I'm really happy that you're excited for it.
Yeah.
I think this game's already come out in 3 different parts in other games. I think Battlefront 2 did the space combat. No Man's Sky did the exploration and story. And who are those guys that did? It was basically, what am I thinking of? I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Borderlands in space. What was it called? There's a game that's basically Borderlands in space. I think it was made by the Borderlands guys. I forget.
Space.
I'm going to just Google Borderlands in space.
Borderlands in space, see what comes up. Google, don't fail us.
I bet it does as well, Hon. Is it Space Punks? No. God damn it. But there's a game that's basically, it looks very similar to like Borderlands or Fallout in space, but it's, anyway, like I think, I'm concerned that you guys will be better off playing No Man's Sky.
This is the thing.
And the thing as well, sorry, just to go on. No Man's Sky is a game made by a company. This is supposed to be the game made by the company, being Bethesda and or Xbox, right?
I'm worried. I'm concerned for this game. There's just a couple of things that just are red flags to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do think that the story could be something quite cool. I don't like, particularly my personal opinion, I don't like the way you interact with it. I don't like the voiceless character thing. I feel like it takes away from me. But some people came to me and said, no, I prefer it that way, that I like to talk as if like it's me. And I'm like, opinion, that's what this is for. That's what that is.
And that's a good meshing of opinions. I prefer it when the actor reads the lines. I prefer to read it myself. Where I think we would argue for the voice actors, well, the lines are given to you anyway. You don't get to generate what's said, which obviously would be unrealistic anyway. Yeah. So in that sense, if you don't really have control of that, let an incredible voice actor do the job. But some people prefer it
with like passion, say, or something like that.
But cool, some people prefer it. Cool, exactly. Good. That's an opinion difference, yeah.
But the couple of red flags just being like, they seem to have made this game massive for the sake of authenticity, when authenticity doesn't always mean fun.
Yeah.
We have to see how it pans out, but there's always that possibility. I just hate the idea of me going to 800 planets and then finding out there's nothing on them.
Right.
Except some minerals that I'm farming, and then like, I don't give a crap.
Well, what happens if you get sent, you need to go and get this many minerals for the ship upgrade or something. And you're going to go and spend 8 hours farming
all the solar systems to try and find it. If they're trying to be authentic, well then why don't we do? How have they cracked space travel? Have they got like hyperdrives? Is it light speed? Is it less than light speed? How far away are these places? Are you gonna have to spend 3 months on a ship to get to certain places? No, we're not gonna do that.
Right, exactly. It's not realistic.
It's not realistic. That's what we're trying to do here. The gunplay
looks seriously, this is supposed to be a premium game.
That's a really big deal breaker around this. It's quite bad.
Also, like the gunplay from, I'm gonna say, I mean, I know it wasn't graphically as good, but like New Vegas's gunplay was better. And in fairness, the games aren't known for like high octane gunfights and stuff. But like,
I brought up this point in the video. I was saying, I don't want it to be the best FPS in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go head to head with Apex Legends or something, right?
But you would think Bethesda Game Studios, who has countless studios under its belt, Bethesda have countless studios under its belt that do FPS really well. id Software, for example, making Doom. You think they would be able to go to them and go, guys, we just can't get this combat down. Can you help us out with it? What goes into a thing? Can you give us some pointers? Can you do this for us? To try and figure out, because Doom do it so well. You don't need to be Doom level, but 10% of what they are. Right now, you guys are down at 1% of gunplay.
And that's the thing.
And I don't understand when you have so many great companies surrounding you with good gunplay,
that's
how
the thing.
you don't get into it.
Okay, Bethesda, it's not their bag, right? I'm sure, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure Bethesda do some things really well.
Yeah.
Can't put my finger on it, but I'm sure they do. You have id right there.
Yeah. Arcane Studios just did Deathloop.
Yeah.
These guys have done passable, if not great, get a gunplay.
Yep.
You've got jack shit. Speak to someone. Do something.
Yep. Mate, outsourcing, like, to be clear, a game made by a studio isn't only made by that studio pretty much ever. Outsourcing is a thing. Outsource or in-source. You know, give it to id. Give it to Arcane. Give it to somebody so that the combat's good, because... And this is the thing where I don't get the defense. Oh, well, they've never been known for their gunplay. So why am I not playing No Man's Sky then?
Yeah.
Because that's all about the exploration, and there's a bit of combat in it. But it's about the exploration. If it's about the exploration, I could be playing that. Unless you're telling me the story's going to absolutely bang.
Yeah.
Which it had better.
Can I make a point about the graphics as well?
Yeah.
I don't think it looked particularly impressive. Okay. There was some bits where I was like, okay, the shine on those ships looked nice. Yeah. Some cities look good. I like the design. I like the aesthetic of stuff.
I thought it looked good because I was impressed with the sci-fi stuff.
That's the part.
But the graphics, I'm with you. Yeah.
That's the thing. So Digital Foundry did a breakdown afterwards, and the teaser that we got last year that gave us the release date.
I saw this. Yeah.
Got posted. Well, that was apparently in-game footage.
Yeah.
Rendered in-game on their engine, so it's not like some CG trailer or anything like that. And now, having seen the gameplay, we can see, and this was his own words, David Letterman and whatnot, the gulf between that trailer and actual gameplay, because the difference is vast. Which just adds again another layer to the skepticism and the what's the word I was saying, because he was deception.
Yeah.
The deception that they seem to be trying to pull over our eyes. Like eventually we're not going to see the game or anything like that. I get that all they're trying to do is get people onto Game Pass, and as soon as they get that 1 month, they get their number and they can go 30 million people.
Yeah. After the release of not No Man's Sky,
Starfield,
you know, we gained X number of people.
But it just looks so different and so bad.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. And this is part of what we've said about the Game Pass model, is they don't have a target to work for.
This is going to be the effect.
They can't reap the rewards, and the previous project can't fund the next project. And the other thing is, like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Why is it that a company like Naughty Dog or Sony Santa Monica, who in comparison to Bethesda are small, why can they do this? Like, for real, go and play The Last of Us. Gorilla, they're in comparison tiny. Sucker Punch. Go and look at Ghost of Tsushima, and then go and look at the in-game stuff for this. Yes, they're different games, I get it, but from what we've seen, I couldn't honestly tell anybody it was worth even the price of... Thank God they don't have to buy it for $70, because there's no way.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I don't think it's not worth the full price for Game Pass, from what I can see. I have access to Game Pass for free and don't intend to play it if it looks like this, unless the story's incredible. So,
as I said, it's obviously dependent on as we go forward. The only thing that would ever really kick me out of playing this game, I might not enjoy playing the game, but I do want to be part of the conversation. I do want to play it.
You give games a fair shot. You gave Anthem way more than its fair shot.
Way more.
And it nearly bricked your console for it. So
the only thing that will take me away is the fandom, as I said. If they keep defending nonsensical points just because it's Todd Howard. It's Todd Howard, guys.
And the Xbots.
Those as well.
They've been trained to think.
At least those are fucking.
They've been trained to think in not just circles. It's a loop. Yeah. It's a spiral. Yeah. And then at the very bottom is just another one going up for the next project.
Yeah.
And then you come all the way back down, you know, defending it to the next project. Like, they're loopy, man.
That's the only thing. Another little bit to add on to the end of it. This isn't Starfield related, but Todd Howard then, I guess, to distract from the negative points that were coming out from the game.
Fair negative points, let's say. To
distract from all of that. Because this is funny because the game isn't out yet. Yeah. So the only reason why you talk about next projects is if the game is dying or something like that. Like, they did it with Fallout 76. They were like, guys, we've not given up on single-player games, guys. Right. And Ubisoft did the same thing when they made the announcement of Infinity or whatever it is. It's like we're not giving up on that because they need to get the people back in. Yeah. Anyway, Todd Howard felt the need to announce that after Starfield, they will be making and after Elder Scrolls 6, which is only just now entered pre-production, by the way.
Yeah, there's no way.
4 years ago, the trailer was released.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Why does Bethesda take a decade to make stuff?
I don't understand that either. No one else is like that. Anyway, after making Starfield and after making Elder Scrolls 6, they will then move on to Fallout 5. So 2040, here we come.
Right, it's ridiculous.
Why'd you?
It's to the point. There's a lady, an old woman who, like a grandma, who has like a following. I think it's on Twitch or TikTok.
Yeah.
And she made a petition saying, "Bethesda, seriously, hurry up! I want to play ES6 before I die."
That's hilarious.
But like, seriously, why are they allowed? Bethesda are just like an extension of Xbox. Why are they allowed to get away with this? And I really want to be clear. Like, I'm not attacking you, Tailgate, or any of the guys that are excited for Starfield or thought it looked good. Just our opinions on it. And really, I'm attacking them because I feel like they're basically mugging you off.
Yeah.
I really don't feel like you're getting a fair
Everything just
value.
Seems to be under the guise of, well, it's going to be free on Game Pass. It's like that doesn't give you the ability to just do less, to give subpar products or to give a subpar service to your customers.
But they can't afford it.
Exactly.
This is why we say the model's doesn't work.
And these are the effects. These are the effects, guys.
For the record as well, like, we wanted Starfield to be good because for two reasons. One, good games are good for gamers, right? And this isn't when everyone plays. When we all play, we all better shut up. Like, we don't, none of that corporate bullshit. Good games are good.
Yeah.
Because it inspires other people, it inspires new game devs, it pushes the game forward. People steal from it and take great things and put them into new projects.
Yeah.
I'm all about game devs stealing from other great. If you take greatness and put it into an even better project, great.
Even better.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Bullshit.
Yeah. That's all I've got to say on Starfield. Is that all from you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be rehashing the stuff because I feel like I'm not done.
I know.
Complaining.
I hope we get to see some more of it. Honestly, what I really hope is that they go quiet until it gets close to the release date. Yeah. And then when it comes to the release date, it shows a bit of improvement in performance. It shows maybe a little bit better gunplay, although I have no faith in that. And maybe they show, do you know what, one thing I would like to see from the game? What would make it truly great? Story would be great.
That would be a good thing to include.
I don't know if this is possible. I don't know if this is a thing. I don't know. If I've missed this, then you guys can let me know. Apparently, like, you can attack other ships with your... Yeah. We saw you can attack other ships with your ship. Can you attack pirate ships? And can you take over their ship?
Can you, like, board and... Like a Sea of Thieves, but in space.
Right. And then take their ship and maybe scrap it or take all the parts inside it.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be sick.
If they show something like that, I'd be like, yes, I want to do that.
That would be sick.
So anyway, that's all of Starfield. Let us know in the comment section how you feel about that.
I mean, fingers crossed they do what you say. They go work on stuff because they probably can't see it, but fair and reasonable criticisms, i.e. areas to work on.
Yeah.
They now know what people want to see improved. They do that in silence, and then nearer the time it comes out, and it turns out they actually do have an incredible story.
Hope so.
Because, fingers crossed. Yeah. But at least you guys aren't paying $70 for it.
At least.
Because that would be a flat no. I would put my stamp of unapproval.
It's like you guys thought Last of Us Part 1 was not worth it.
Right.
Next up, Redfall.
Yeah.
So this is the other big game that... it's big only because it's a first-party exclusive game.
Yeah.
But I personally didn't like what I saw from Redfall.
None of it.
It was very much like Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
And I mean the Back 4 Blood, not Left 4 Dead, because it didn't look very cool in my opinion. It had some floaty vampires and they had some one-liners that were alright. But in my opinion, it was a bit of cheese. It didn't look particularly impactful. The gunplay was it was good. It was better than Starfield by miles.
It actually was, yeah, which is.
But I felt like sometimes you shot and it didn't do much.
We watched him shoot they come up into the attic.
Yes.
And there's something there. We watched him shoot that twice and it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And where it was also shot with that same gun and did react.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody caught that. I will say on that note, sort of like what you said about the Last of Us sort of Left 4 Dead version. If it's wrapped up in a good story, I think we got something to play with here. There's room for a really good game, but that isn't what they showed us.
Yes,
what they showed us was another go at Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that
didn't look particularly impressive. That doesn't mean it won't be good. I just think, well, maybe play Left 4 Dead. Yeah. But I think I'm really starting to lean towards your version of it, of like you Left 4 Dead but with good story and like some really deep lore.
Yeah.
There might be something here, but we didn't really see anything about the game, did we? I mean, we learned the basics. Oh, there's vampires and you're in a town and
the closest we got was from the closest we got that T was managed to extrapolate from. Let me read his comment here that he wrote into our Discord server. He said, Redfall is set in a world where Morbius was banned in a country and the whole town went nuts from not being able to watch it, and they turned into bloodthirsty vampires, seeking to drink the blood of the Morbs, so the government sent in a squad of people who watched and studied Morbius for a decade, every day to stop the vampires from killing the Morbs. The main character mentions, and it's true in this part, he goes, I love how he wove this into his story, the main character mentions a theater in the gameplay trailer, saying, I used to be here all the time, implying that she was a regular Morb fan who went to theaters when it was Morbin time. Anyway, he goes on like that. I fucking love that you've taken this cultural meme and weaved it into the showcase. It's fucking great. Also,
just on that note, and a complete aside, the guy's insane. Yeah. Did you see that Jared Leto didn't said he'd be open to a Morbius 2.
Oh god!
Like, what? Why? Why would you even?
We're not really excited for this game, bro. Join the meme, and that's it. That's what you need to say. Right? Don't forward that. He does say here as well. True dedicators. Let me read the rest of it because I do feel like he's put a lot of effort into this. Implying that she's a more fan. Thus getting extraordinary powers from not pirating Morbius and enjoying it in cinemas every time. It's also a nod to Morbius having Spider-Man's powers, voice and voice character. Now together must be Spider-Man's voice actor and voice a character now together must destroy the Morb-thirsty vampires before they eradicate every Morb on Earth, making Morbius a forgotten gem. This was a nice touch by Bethesda team, and it shows that their true dedication to the Morbverse. It is a theory that Phil Spencer himself gave the order to delay the game to include the cinema that he himself highly dedicated to know the greatest movie of all time, Morbius. I've come to realize Redfall is the best game ever made. 10 Morbillion out of 10. Thank you for that, T.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if it's got some good lore, obviously, around the movie and Morbius, then there could be something here, but it didn't look particularly impressive. Both of these games, they're big showcase first parties, look like they're going to, at best, be a flash in the pan. It doesn't look like anything's going to last.
That's so bad, isn't it? It's so out of order. We want good games.
And then also, how long has it been? Like we said, these projects go like one of these is at 42 months or something. You know, like these exclusives are so few and far between. They're spread so thin, and then when they come out, they're such nothings. Versus what you're getting
everywhere else.
Literally everywhere else. Nintendo and Sony haven't stopped putting out stuff, and what they do put out is of, the top quality.
Third parties are doing great. PlayStation's doing great. And Nintendo's doing great. It's just this one company, and for some reason, a bunch of people follow and say, you know what, these guys.
And they keep the thing as well. They keep buying up all this talent, and they're not doing anything with it.
And that's the extra part, isn't it? Like, we want it to be great. If they turn around and gave these guys the funding they needed, and it turns out the funding produced this massive greatness in the end, they'll be like, fuck, these guys made a really good thing for the gaming industry. Yeah. We did some greatness here. We need to really be thankful for that.
Absolutely.
But it's been years and we still don't see nothing. Still don't see
nothing. From 2017, there hasn't been a single decent project. Whatever they have made has taken 4 years longer than the similar competitors. Like, it just...
The last Xbox first-party game that was shown off, Forza Motorsport. Looks-wise, this thing looked incredible.
It was always gonna.
The car games, brum games, they always look fantastic and
sound amazing.
I do love the way cars look, especially the reflections. They're so beautiful. And they showed off. They claimed on stage it was Xbox Series X and S console footage.
I mean, doubt.
Sorry, my apologies. They didn't say it was. They implied it was.
That's
to get out of their legal thing right there. But it turned out afterwards that it was all PC footage, turned up to the max.
Well, obviously.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, we'll have real-time ray tracing in-game as you play. And I'm like, why couldn't you do it for Forza Horizon then? And anyway, highly doubt that. We'll see how that, when it comes out spring next year.
The thing is, and this is part of the reason Game Pass works for them, is because the game will have the ability to do that. You won't be able to do it if you're on console.
I'm going to highly doubt that consoles can do that. The funny thing is that the argument is that they put PC footage out there, but it was tested to the same quality as Xbox Series X footage. And I was like, so why didn't you use Xbox Series X footage then? And then you could say this is running on an Xbox Series X right now.
That's why on the PlayStation stuff, in-game footage captured on a PS5, not a PS5 dev kit, not a computer simulating a PS5, captured on a PS5. At every level, and this isn't because, look, Sony are good, I don't care about Sony. They are being more honest the whole way through. And Microsoft are being wholly dishonest at every opportunity, to the point of flat out lying in a couple of cases, or to the point where you and I would call it a lie, but maybe in court they can get away with it.
That's the thing. I just feel when it comes to, like, this was PC gameplay and implying that it was running on a console, the console exclusivity that actually wasn't console exclusive, the embargo forbidding developers and publishers to speak about their games on other platforms,
the fact that it would release everywhere else, but you can't talk about it, so they can soak up all the attention for nothing because they have nothing to give you afterwards.
And then the little things that I mentioned about Starfield with Todd Howard saying all those planets and how you can land it, all these little bits of disingenuous, it adds up and it gets under my skin. I can't take it. Anyway, Forza Motorsport, not something I'm particularly interested in. It's a brum game and no one cares, so it's not a real game.
True.
So let's leave that there. Now here's the last, I think, really genuinely interesting announcement that happened. Kojima.
Okay. No. This is exactly what we're talking about with Xbox and like them lying to you. Big announcement. Here's an old Japanese man. Hello.
Goodbye.
Bye.
He literally comes here and goes, announces that he's working on a project with Microsoft Cloud Technology, a game that will, this is a quote, a game that will challenge himself. It will take some time, and I hope to bring you some news in the future. Goodbye.
20 seconds. In Japanese.
And I'm like, what?
We're really excited to announce our project. Well, you didn't announce shit.
My guy, what did you come on screen for?
What a waste of his time.
What a waste of his time.
What a waste of our time.
Everything. I lauged my arse off. And the thing is that I'm a big Kojima fan. I'm probably going to check out whatever the hell he comes out with. I've got my BB.
How many? You've bought like 3 different versions of Death Stranding. You know, you're a big fan.
I love him and everything he does. I'll probably try whatever he comes out with. But bruv, why did you come out? I know that whatever you showed probably wouldn't have made sense anyway. Of just course. Like all the trailers for Death Stranding.
We know it wouldn't have made any sense.
But you literally didn't say anything.
Yeah, they didn't say anything. And Xbox and Phil Spencer passed it off as this huge announcement of our partnership. This game we're super excited for. He didn't say anything. He said, I'm working on something.
Phil Spencer's like, it's really exciting to have Kojima working in Xbox Game Studios, making it sound like as if he acquired them or something like that. And I'm like, that's not what happened. It was so dumb. It was so dumb.
It was basically a lie.
Yeah.
It wasn't an announcement. Kojima said, I'm working on something. We know. We already knew this.
What was funny was
didn't we? We knew this, right?
There was a rumor going around, but no, hadn't been confirmed. I guess this confirmed it.
I mean, okay,
but it wasn't like we was worried at all.
But not like this would have been a. I'm super excited to announce our partnership with Kojima. I'm making a horror game. Yeah. I'm making a sci-fi game. I'm making an adventure game that's going to really test my stuff. I'm really excited to be a partnership with.
That would have been so much better.
One word, an adjective.
He so Kojima Productions tweeted out after the event saying, specifically, really putting it down here. It's like, as an independent creative studio, Kojima Productions will be pursuing work on creations for our fans. We'll explore the various possibility with games, movies, and music through platforms to evolve the technology. We look forward for your continued support. And then after that was with the PlayStation, with the Xbox announcement, right? They quote tweeted it.
Yeah.
I guess in order to save face and to maybe like, okay, look, PlayStation fans, we're not going anywhere. We really love you guys. They then tweeted out, goes, after the announcement, our partnership with Microsoft using the cloud technology, many people have asked us about our collaboration with SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Please be assured that we will continue to have a very good partnership with PlayStation as well. Kojima Production. I was like, because people were like, yeah, we don't care about that. We care more about what you're doing for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because that's where all of your audience is.
It's where all of your audience is. It's where all of your good projects are. Now, if anyone's going to make anything for Xbox that's any good, it might be Kojima. Because he's not managed by them.
Yeah.
Right? And guy knows how to make games. Games I'm not interested in, but at least there'll be something for Xbox. And I bet they can even manage to throw in that. That's the only thing. I'm now incredibly worried for Fable, by the way.
That's the thing. So we didn't see, like I called it, we didn't see anything from Fable. We didn't see anything from Elder Scrolls
Fable's not coming
Online.
until 2037.
To be fair, if it's not coming out for many, many years, I wouldn't want to see it.
I agree. I'm with you. I only want to see stuff within 2 years.
Yeah. And they narrowed it down to even 12 months. So it just meant that we only have 3 things from them. And everything else is multi-platform.
Yeah, but 3 things and they're all coming this year. But at least last year was so...
oh, wait, hold on.
Well, the recent years have been so...
Moving on to some other stuff. Yeah. They showed an update for Grounded. Do you remember the game Grounded?
Yeah.
Very cool little game.
Updates probably shouldn't be in this thing.
That's the thing.
Grounded is a cool game. I have no intention of playing it, but I like the look of it.
This is the only one I mentioned because previously it was in a preview stage, and now it's actually a full game, and you can get it. And it looked really cool. It's got a story now. It looks interesting. It's very Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I like the look of it, and it might be something I check out. You guys should go check that out as well.
It looks fun. It looks cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I said Grounded. I'm saying it again.
Yeah.
A Plague Tale Requiem. They showed a trailer for that. Plague Tale looks beautiful. Got to hear Amicia Hugo again, and it was great.
That's probably the best game that we actually saw. Yeah. Big fan of A Plague Tale. Not an exclusive.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And this tiny little studio managed to make a game better than frickin' Starfield. So at least looks. So
they showed. Again, this is an update. Flight Simulator. They added helicopters, but also they added the Halo Pelican.
Yeah, which is dumb because they had Top Gun's just come out and they've got more money than God. Use Top Gun.
So this is the thing. James apparently played it and he tried out the Pelican. It was all right. And then he goes, I went to do the Top Gun challenges and those were really good. And I was like, okay. That's what it goes on.
Yeah, but like, and this is what I don't get is that you're going to bank on the cachet of Halo, which you have been destroying since about 2011 or 2012, something like that.
Yeah.
The last game utterly flopped with, I mean, even if it's like 1/10 of the budget we suspect it could be, it was way too much.
Yeah.
And also your show flopped. And that's the thing you're showing off when Top Gun Maverick is a massive movie at the minute. Right now. Top Gun's always been popular. Fighter planes are always cool.
They should have done a really cool trailer for that.
They should have. What they should have done is in-game graphically redone the trailer. Yeah. Should have just paid out the nose for the license to do that. That would have been worth the money.
Yeah.
More worth the money than Bethesda has been so far.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Then they showed a game called American Arcadia. which is essentially the Truman Show.
Oh yeah,
this looked really quite nice. I will definitely check this out. A very nice little art style, and it's very cool premise as well. Like you're being watched by everyone in the sea, and you're like playing out a role. And I think it looked very good. Everyone should go check that out as well. Arc 2 with my boy Vinny D. Family. It was so great to see him riding a T-Rex. It was where he was meant to be.
I'm surprised he wasn't like on a T-Rex, still in like the shell of a Charger, though. You know, he's like using
pulling a gear.
Yeah.
Could you imagine him on a T-Rex and there's just a gear stick there?
Yeah.
It just pulls it. It's like, oh!
I mean,
dumber things have happened in the
talking
Fast
about
and Furious
dinosaurs.
universe.
Yeah, they really have. Talking about dinosaurs, I saw the new Jurassic Park. It's not good.
Is it not? Oh, I was really hoping it would be good.
I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. I'm a big fan of like
they brought
Jurassic
all the old
Park
cast
stuff.
back as well. Oh man,
it's not very good. I mean,
unfortunate.
maybe you want to go see it, but me and my chick both left a little bit disappointed. In fairness, we had just seen like the week before we'd seen Top Gun, which is incredible, but
it's pretty hard.
I feel like it's a movie that if it's on Netflix, you could check it out, but maybe don't go to cinema. If you're really having to like get someone to look after Isla and stuff, maybe you don't go and see it. Which is really sad because I like, dinosaurs, man.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of practical effects and stuff. Anyway, not gaming, but
then they announced this is good for Xbox gamers because it hasn't been to Xbox before. Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Portable, and Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal is going to be the first one of those three to come out on the 21st of October. It's a Weeb game, so not many people are really interested in it, to be honest.
To make it better, if they could just make it so that it leaves PlayStation and goes to Xbox, that would be a good, so they have something exclusive.
And anyone who previously purchased it, they're locked out of that content.
Of course.
It's for their own good.
Exactly.
And like I said before, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm a big fan of those movies, and it looked cool. It was labeled as a console launch exclusive, but actually it's multi-platform, so
crazy. This is I mean, it's a console launch exclusive, meaning it launches on consoles.
This is the thing, they bent the truth so much, and
they lied. No, they lied.
Yeah, okay.
They're lying.
They lied.
They're lying to you. They're lying to us. They're lying.
And that's pretty much all of the stuff that at least I have in my memory of what was shown off there. Like I said, there were a few standouts. The overall events, they didn't really move me. I liked that we finally got to see Starfield, but it has really sort of soured the taste in my mouth after we found out the information about it, the things that they've said, and the things that they're pitching as like, oh, guys, 1,000 planets, 1,000 planets. Like, it's not. You're not really.
The other thing is like, it's not really doing like. Not all new games have to do something new. I'm not saying that, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything new. Like I would much rather have 3 systems, but you can actually just land on planets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why not do that?
Oh boy. Let's kick it over to some of our guys.
Yeah, buddy.
Actually, let's kick it over to some of our guys. We've done this we missed correcting Conbrosations last week, and we've not done it so far, so we're gonna have to put it in at the end after we do. I mean,
we never have corrections. We're so smart.
Sorry, we didn't have any corrections this year. This week, this year. We're always right. Gam's True Gamer Master writes into patreon.com/Conbrosations to have your comment read out first before everyone.
Priority. We care about you more.
Exactly. More than the other fuckers. Freeloaders. G'day, bros. I didn't watch Summer Game Fest or the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, but I did watch Todd Howard's gameplay review of Starfield. Called it. Here are my thoughts. Graphically, it looks great, although there are plenty of texture pops. That was another thing as well.
Texture pops, frame drops.
Especially at that beginning part. When you get out of the ship,
yeah,
things are loading in as you... And I'm like, what was the loading screen landing on the planet then? Like, what was that for if it's going to load when it gets there?
Also, this is supposed to be running on, even though it wasn't, it's supposed to be running on like a Series X.
Yeah, next-gen hardware, current-gen hardware. Anyway, pop-ins, as there always are with Bethesda games. Again, it shouldn't be excusable.
Yeah, just because it's like, oh, it's shoots from, good old Xbox. No.
They've never done good before, so they're not supposed to improve.
Good old Ku Klux Klan. They've always been here, so...
Oh, great.
No, you update.
Exactly.
You move with the times.
The combat looks bare bones with no real impact, so hopefully they can improve on that before release next year.
It was supposed to release this year, though.
The combat is not a deal breaker for me, as I have endured and loved both Skyrim. Endured. That's what you want from your games. Endure the shitness of it.
Right.
And loved both Skyrim and Fallout 4 with some pretty shockingly bad combat. My final concern is the size of the maps. If Bethesda has managed to completely fill all 800 plus planets with meaningful side quests and content, as they have in the past with Skyrim and Fallout 4, I don't know if all of it had meaningful content. I don't think it was that big, to be honest, as well. Then I'm absolutely here for it. But I'm really worried that most planets are going to be the way of a Ubisoft title, and that makes me sad. That's our primary concern.
What do you think the chances are, both of you, all of you, that these planets are full of anything worthwhile?
0.
Yeah, I'm in there.
I have a suspicion what they'll do is they'll make, like I said, the planets that have the 4 main cities on, they'll have some good stuff on them.
Yeah.
They'll maybe make 10 planets with like side quests of like side factions or something like that, and maybe there'll be a special rare element that unlocks like a side quest when you go over to a thing. Or
some refugee, or like not refugee. What do you call criminals that go on the run? Not refugee. You know, there's a word for that.
I'm thinking.
Like a bandit or something. I'm trying to. You know, they will be off on some random distant planet to get you out there.
Yeah.
But if you stray from that, there'll be nothing.
Exactly, and I think there's going to be a large amount, like 800 planets, just for resources or a place for you to set up your house.
No interesting fauna or anything like that.
No, and if you could at least say, okay, the game looks graphically impeccable.
Yeah.
So all of them look like amazing foreign planets. I'd be like, okay, maybe.
Natural wonders. Yeah. You can go to 800 planets. There's like dozens of natural wonders here.
Yeah.
You can go to 800 planets. Let's say there's no alien life. Okay, no alien life. 800 planets. 800 times however many wonders per planet. Bet you don't find that.
Yeah. How many of them as well? They're just going to be like, oh, that's a gas giant. You can't land there.
Right. How many Tatooines?
It's just sand. Whole planet's sand.
Right.
I love that there's ship and base building. That was a good one for me as well in this game. Can't wait to build some absolute monstrosity. Character creation looks pretty good as well. The main hub city looks great. The groups of factions we can join seem compelling enough, and I can't wait to dive into them. Those were the really good points of it. I did like those as well.
Those were the selling points for sure.
The story seems intriguing enough, but all we know right now from the main story is that it generally takes a backseat in in most people's playthroughs. See, that's maybe where I'm different. I want the main story.
Yeah, the story.
And the other cool stuff is cool, but...
Side quests are only fun because I've got fun stuff to do while I'm avoiding the main quest. The main quest has to be good, and the side content has to be good. Do you know what I mean?
There you go. Joe takes back seat for most playthroughs. Overall, I'm keen on Starfield, but will not be buying an Xbox for it. I'll just buy it on Steam and have fun modding it when the time comes. That might be something that saves the game on PC. Just great mods.
I feel like... So it's typically the case that Bethesda games end up being saved by the mods.
Yes.
Modders, I should say. I think that is deplorable. That's awful. The fact that it relies on passionate fans to fix the game.
It's like with Cyberpunk 2077. They were like, oh, well, modders came in and they fixed this, they fixed that. That's not good.
That's not a good thing.
That wasn't good.
Yeah.
And like, they're going higher than cool.
It's sort of different for, like, for example, Skyrim has so many mods at this point, and that's what keeps it fresh for people, which is slightly different because Skyrim's a good game and it works and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the way you should be bringing out a game.
Yeah.
You know, you should bring out a game ready to play and great, and then the modders are going to come in and, like, you know, let you play as Kratos or whoever, like, whatever. Like, it's something, this feels like a smash and grab kind of.
In other news, he says, Quarry released this last week, and it has been awesome. I've been on my second playthrough. Oh, shit, bro, we can co-op this shit then. Because we have it.
You were talking about that, yeah.
I have it digitally, so you can download it as well. But that'll be awesome. I want to play with you, bro. Let's get on this shit. Give me your PSN ID, we'll do that.
I thought you said he's on PC.
Oh, shit, he might be on PC. Hold on a sec. No, hold on. Let me read the rest of his comment, because he does say something about I'm really good at playing this on PS5.
Okay.
So, It's been awesome. I'm on my second playthrough by the time this episode is recorded, and I'm loving every second of it. It is, to quote one of the characters, a creature feature. Ooh, style horror. It's not as scary as Until Dawn, but it does have its moments. The Chronicles. Blame my illness for that. The choices given along the way was really feel like you have an impact on the story. So a little bit of wording there. Impact on the stories in the branching past, and that there are consequences for every action. The graphics are amazing, and the art direction is incredible. The lighting really adds to the tension of the story, as well as the great light and dark contrast.
What I'm hearing is that it's significantly better than what we saw from Starfield.
I'm really glad to be playing this on my PS5. It truly looks amazing. Cool. Some of the gameplay can feel a bit clunky, but nothing to ruin the game. As a whole, 8.5 out of 10. I mean, bro, I think we need to play this and give like a little review episode of the
Yeah, we can do that.
That sounds pretty cool. What
the hell's that?
Let's have a look. Oh, it's gone, guys. Let's set up a GoFundMe page. Thank you very much there, Games Master, for writing in. Hopefully our times can work out, because you're in the upside down land of Stranger Things.
900 hours ahead of us or something.
No one even knows where you are.
Living in the future. Or the past. I forget how time zones work.
How does time work, do you want to start by reading Isak's comment over Discord?
Yeah, buddy. Xbox Showcase and Summer Games First were, as I predicted, shit. Only things of note for the Xbox Showcase was Starfield, which looked just okay, and Kojima showing up for absolutely no reason.
That was so weird, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. The only time that was good was where they did that for when he got fired after Konami, and then they showed him on the PlayStation stage.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm back. It's like, great. We didn't
lose a return.
We didn't lose a visionary. Yeah. That's what it was.
It was a return.
This was like, I'm doing something. I'm going to give you some news in the future. Goodbye.
Cool.
So what?
Cool. And for Summer Games Fest, there's literally nothing that stuck in my memory. Could have just been a series of Nibel tweets and nothing else. Yeah, Nibel actually had better info than we saw at Summer Games Fest.
Nibel tweets.
But don't forget the Rock's ad.
Yeah, we mustn't forget that. We must remember to put the energy drink in our brains.
Wasn't even paying attention. Even if he said, I know he said the name, don't know what it was.
I don't know what
Don't care. Here's a full list of PS Plus games coming to the new service. Maybe give your thoughts on it. I'm not checking out this list of like 1,000 titles.
So yeah, if you don't know, the PlayStation Plus service has launched in North America and some other territories, and it's an extensive list in there. It's massive. It's huge. It is huge. There's a ton of really nice games in there. I've played all the games that I'm interested in. Maybe there'll be some older games that I might check out.
That's the thing. This is the problem for us, because we are wired to like new stuff. I hate that a service like this comes out and we go, well, I've already played everything I want to play.
Yeah, it's not interesting to me.
Right. Which doesn't mean it's not a good service or anything like that. It's just, it's not for us.
Yeah.
So
there's probably games on here that you've heard of that you didn't buy. Maybe you was busy playing something else and you passed on it, and the time passed, and you're going to go back and play. For example, the most downloaded game that I guess most people passed on because they wanted to wait for a PlayStation 5, or they maybe thought that it was a bit too expensive because that's when the new price hike came out. Yeah. Spider-Man Miles Morales is the most downloaded game on the new service when it launched in America.
Fair enough.
I'm sure everybody's going to be enjoying that.
Actually, I haven't played that, so I probably would. I would do that. But like, for the most part, the vast majority of these, if there's anything in there that I want to play, I already played it.
I'll tell you one thing that I'm really annoyed at. Killzone is on here. Killzone Shadowfall.
Yes.
But none of the previous ones are on here.
Oh,
I think
no.
they have Resistance 3 on here, which everyone go check out Resistance 3. But let me just find Killzone again. Where's K? It's in alphabetical order and I can't find it. GHIJ. H-I-J-K. Here we go. K. Killzone Shadowfall and Killzone Shadowfall Intercept, but not Killzone 3, 2, which is just a disservice, Sony. I can't believe you did that.
It does feel like, because that for a long time, Killzone was one of the. It was sort of like the PlayStation Gears of War.
Yeah.
And then they just sort of were like, "Oh, we're not really very good at this. Then bye."
That's the thing. It was a clunky type of shooter, and I can understand people saying this isn't good, especially compared to the Call of Duties of the day and stuff like that. And it didn't exactly have. I liked the story. It was very much like space Nazis and stuff like that. Right. But it wasn't.
Of course, you would like that story. Then.
I do love my Nazis. You know me. I wish I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that kind of stuff. Why would I say
clippable.
That? But it's not The Last of Us. It's not Horizon Forbidden West or anything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to reboot it. That's what they need to do.
I think that would be good. That's what they should do for one of their FPS projects.
Yeah.
Is just remake Killzone, but sort of from the ground up. Keep all the best elements, just make it new.
Yeah, because the aesthetic is nice.
I like the Helghast mask, and it's sort of like steampunk meets.
I don't think there's anything that I've seen that's quite comparable to that.
I agree.
It's great.
It's quite similar to the Fallout. I forget what the mech suits are called. But it reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah, the suit.
But the whole thing looks like all the hardware, all of the, even just like the buildings have that sort of industrial, but like they never really got things small. Yeah, you know,
they made it, but they're just giant.
They made stuff and they were like, it's rough, but it works. We won't bother improving it. It works. Good enough is good enough, isn't it? And they just kept with it.
BS Bro 1 writes in and he says, Xbox event had a great selection of games. This is Alpha Aquila. Xbox event had a great selection of games in the first half, with some great games that I'm honestly not interested in becoming more. A selection of games I'm not interested in becoming more frequent in the second half. Like that, they showed only games that should be released in the next 12 months. Summer Games Fest was good too. I'm just waiting for them to release the Star Trek Resurgence, which I'll play and release. But he's such a Trekkie, this guy. But I can't wait for A Plague Tale Requiem. He goes one by one now. Starfield, I'm not a fan of crafting and resource management, but the story intrigues me. Never played the Fallout games, though. Forza Horizon 5 DLC looks great fun, and Forza...
this guy's a walking contradiction, isn't it?
Yes. It's so funny, because like, he's the mirror image of us, the opposite of us. Yeah. It's like, we like all of these big story games, and he's like... I just like Brum Brum. I just like these soulless things over here. He goes, Forza Motorsport will be my first motorsport game. I'll be interested to enjoy that. Can't wait to get back into the cockpit of flight simulators with helicopters. Yep. A Dusk Falls. This was interesting. Could have an intriguing story. Not impressed by the visual style. It was a series of like almost watercolor pictures. Yeah. And then they changed.
Very unusual. It's that sort of like comic. You've all seen... It's sort of what's the thing I'm thinking of? Mass Effect does this, where you have like the big major events, and those little things that you do are more in this comic-y style, where like every frame kind of moves.
It's kind of moving,
and then it kind of goes back. And
it was odd because sometimes they'll be like the characters are all in this watercolor and they're static, and then the car that they're in is moving at normal pace.
Weird,
isn't it? Like, what is going on here? Very strange. Anyway, that looks really cool. American Arcadia, like I said, looks like it could be good fun. I still want to see more gameplay. High Water looks like a chill game. I think that was... I
can't remember that one.
I can't remember that one as well. Cocoon looks like it could be a fun puzzle game. Uriban, stealth game. Oh, I remember this one. This is a weeb one. Stealth game that have always been my favorite, so I'll check out. This is a fast-paced stealth game. The Last Case of Benedict Fox. This one was like a mix between Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, I remember this.
And like I guess like a new style.
I like the art style, but I feel like these are games that I always look at and go, man, that looks like it'd be a chill, fun game to play and never play.
Yeah, unfortunately. Kojima is getting needless hate. Look, I love the guy. That was dumb.
Xbox should be getting all of that hate for the Kojima thing, because they act like that was a big thing. It wasn't a big thing. It was a nothing.
It was clearly, they were like, look, Kojima, we really would like you to be on the...
We have nothing. Have you seen Starfield?
It will be a big thing to talk about, but it wasn't a big thing because they're suits and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Announcement was all it needed to be. Alpha, I love you because you just finished watching Smallville. But don't say things like that.
Thank God that's over. I don't have to hear about Smallville now, but
knowing that he's working on something special to do with the cloud should be enough to make any fan of his past projects excited for more news to come further down the line. I've not played any of his games, but the cloud intrigues me. The cloud does intrigue me as well. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the gameplay looked interesting, but I haven't seen the film. Yeah, you want to see the film.
The film's good. Not really my thing. Bless you, bro. Bless you.
Oh, shoot!
Ah. You should have done it in Turkish.
I should have done it in Turkish.
You're going to have to redo it. Yeah. I'm sneezing. Then the boss nass.
Big on with him. God.
BS Bro 2 says, I missed Summer Games Fest because my Wi-Fi was down. Do it in Turkish, bruv. So stupid. So I don't know much. Last of Us Part 1 is nice, but a bit overpriced in my opinion. I don't really care since I don't have a PS5. I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Kojima was the only good part about the Xbox showcase. You must have a very low standard.
You know what? More people like you is exactly what Xbox needs.
Yeah, T, I'm not so... Too bad he just appeared to say he's working on something and didn't want anything to do with that showcase. What a Chad. I'm glad to find
shit
out...
show.
Yeah. I'm glad to find out the PlayStation Premium will be available in my country. Usually subscription services aren't, so that's nice. Still was kind of hoping I could buy PS3 games separately for PS4, but as I'm understanding, they'll only be available through cloud streaming with Premium. Yeah, currently that's the...
I think actually they are available a la carte.
Really?
So
when did that change?
I'm not gonna say it because I haven't seen it for myself, but that's what I've seen online. I don't know 100%. You'll have to... I don't know. I think they're offering it a la carte because they're eventually going to do local emulation.
Yeah.
Eventually, but I don't...
The big problem with the local emulation is the PS3.
Yeah.
And all of these games aren't... The way that developers got around the language was to basically sort of build things from scratch, which means you can't just make one emulator like you could for, say, the PS1, PS2, 4 and 5. Yeah. You kind of have to make them per game. So it's just... They fricked themselves and they fricked us. Yeah. Stop being stupid, Sony. But basically he's saying he doesn't want to pay 120 euros because I guess his internet can't hack.
Just for streaming,
cloud.
It's not really worth it, exactly.
Yeah, it's not so good. Redfall is set in a world where... Oh, right, yeah, you motherfricker. I'll read... God damn it. Starfield sweep, unfortunately. Juice says. Starfield ticked all the boxes.
All right, there we go. Done. You don't need to say anything else, Luke. We know.
Ridiculous.
Fucking hell, it's hot in here.
The AC must be doing something because we're able to live, but it's losing the fight badly.
It's like,
It's Muhammad Ali versus a guy in a coma. It's like the guy's there, and it's hard to knock out a guy in a coma, but he's taking a beating. Jesus. Redfall is an FPS game from Arcane, so it's guaranteed to be Kino. Good, I guess.
Kino? I can't even get from the context like what that means.
No, I don't know. We're boomers now.
Yeah, we are boomers.
I like the look.
Do you know what ick is?
Yeah, we used to call them pet peeves.
Yeah.
Now they're calling it gives me the ick. Like, I get it, but like...
I heard someone
stop
say
being
it the
stupid
other day.
TikTok idiots.
I heard someone say it on TikTok and I was like, ick. I was like, what does that mean?
Like, yeah, like, my initial response was like, do they mean like, it's icky?
But that's like disgusting.
Yeah, like it gives me the ick. Like,
I don't know. We had our dumb ones.
Also, we definitely did. But the
like
thing that bugs me about ick is that it's a word. It's already a word, and it has a use. And this is being used in things like something you just don't like. Like, oh, I was going to see this girl, but her favorite color's red. It gave me the ick. Like, no, it's just saying that's not a. I mean, I don't get to decide how people use their own slang in it, but like that's silly. That's not how you should use that because then it loses all freaking.
I think we're getting
emphasis.
old. I think that's what it is.
Well, these kids, stay off my lawn.
Stay off my lawn.
I like the look of As Dusk Falls, choice-based visual novel game. Witchfire looked pretty cool from some of the Game Fest. Cool little FPS game with a little magic. As a COD fan, I quite like Modern Warfare 2. not sure where I land on Modern Warfare 2 because I'm in this weird spot of like, I'm still, every now and then I play online games, but generally I like to play story games. I don't really think of COD for story. Anyway, The Last of Us Remake is overpriced, but I'll probably play it when it comes out on PC. Pretty much everything else didn't really interest me. Xbox Showcase was better than SFG, and then that was better than State of Play, I'm afraid. That's all cap.
That is, yeah.
My man could be done for labour laws because he's producing nothing but cap.
See, we're young. We use young words.
Yeah.
Cap.
No cap, Pepe G.
Poggers.
I hate that so much. The worst thing is it kind of makes sense because they're like, oh, are there anybody using Pog in the chat? Any Poggers?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, like I get it, but don't unironically say Pog.
Mate, this sandwich is Poggers, isn't it?
It's like, it's the equivalent. This is how it sounds to me. It would be the equivalent of someone our age, 30, going like, colon, right bracket. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're stating an emoji, you frickin' idiot. with slight caveat of like probably, I think if someone's like Ainsley, I'd be like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go around if we ever do a meetup and we do anything, I'm gonna do the Eddie approve.
right. Or like the Shep slap. Like that's totally different, but that's an inside joke
because we said it.
Yeah, it's cool because we did it. All right. My Zimmer frame has racing rims, so.
I read Tailgate's one already.
Cool. For the record, Tailgate, I want to make it clear. I do feel like we ragged on Starfield and that people will take that as, well, if I like this thing and they think it's shit, they're beefing me out. We're not beefing you out. Really hope that you like the game.
Yeah.
Just don't pay any money for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Get your $1 code done.
Yeah.
BS Bro 3 says Starfield looked very mid. Redfall looked a little interesting. The Last of Us has been bumped up from maybe to a definitely for me, as I've never played the game. Callisto Protocol is a definitely not because it scared me.
I'm so with you, but Dead Space 1 and 2, they never made a third. So good. Even I played them, and I'm not sleeping anyway. So
so hey, why not?
Right.
And can't think of anything else to say apart from Kaha 56 like sand. But it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
There are memes within memes in my own community, and I refuse to let you have your own jokes. You're not allowed it.
These are our jokes you're supposed to
have the microphone. We're the cool guys here, okay?
Okay.
Giuseppe says...
Leave Giuseppe's one to the last one. It's a question.
Okay. Yeah. Alpha says, playing RDR2 for the first time, and it's so relaxing. Haven't caught any TB yet, despite the claims of Eddie and Chips. Well, look, give it time.
Look, it's in those times, it's an inevitability.
Right, it's that or syphilis. So
exactly. Which one would you prefer?
Right.
Death of the penis or death of your lungs?
Jesus Christ. T said, playing Fallout 4 for platinum. Bleh.
I think that's related to Giuseppe's question. I think that's what it is. Diogo says, how excited are you for the AC1 remaster / remake? Do you love AC is coming back in full force?
No. So I'm in a weird spot because I would never play the OG AC games now, right? The only one that even interests me is kind of Black Flag, and it's somewhat recent in comparison. If it wasn't for the company, like if someone had bought up, in an ideal universe, there's a world where UB went bankrupt and someone picked up the AC thing for pennies on the pound or on the dollar, whatever. Yeah. And then was just like, these games are shit. Let's make them not shit. That I'd be interested in, maybe. Yeah. Tailgate. Here's an interesting topic. What movie or TV show do you guys... Should we
leave that until afterwards. I think that's all regarding this show.
Let's go back to no, not Tailgate. Where was it?
Before we do that, let's do correcting Conbrosations.
But we don't have any corrections. We're so smart. We're so big and wrinkly ballsack brains.
Tell them, everybody, about your favourite segment.
So look, if you're new around here and you've somehow managed to make it, like, how long have we been going? 2 hours.
2 hours.
We passed 2 hours.
20 minutes.
And you made it this far. I mean, condolences, but... Oh, look. We say things on the internet, and we've never let pesky things like facts or information get in the way of a strongly held belief. So, when, not if, but when we say something stupid, just head down to the comment section of this video, write out your comment, at 13 minutes and 72 seconds when you said this game was actually this, it was that, whatever. So timestamp it so we can, see what you were talking about. And in next week's podcast, we'll read out your comment, and we definitely won't forget this segment. It's my favourite segment. We'll never forget it. Never forgotten. We'll read out your comment and credit you with your good take. Good. I feel like that's the best thing to do. And if you don't like something, just air quote around it. That's we'll read out your opinion.
Opinion.
With the air quotes, just complete. Anyway, corrections. I doubt it. So smart.
So the only thing we've got Runic Firebird who says correcting.
Well, never mind.
Runic Firebird, he's always there.
Dude's on fire with this stuff. Yeah.
Runic Firebird, correcting Conbrosations. You did not have a correcting Conbrosations segment this time, meaning all of your videos are wrong because you have missed an episode. We don't. It doesn't count the whole episode because we missed correct conversations. You absolute fake gamers. Also, Eddie, since you.
Yeah, Ed. What's he got to say?
Also, Eddie, since you said if Keystone's price start with a 2, you still have to eat the axe.
Yeah. You said
it's $20.
Yeah. So you. Oh shit.
Keystone.
There was a console or something that's coming out.
Oh,
the streaming only, the Xbox thing.
Yes, yeah.
And I said it's going to be $200. I said it's going to be the price of a Series S. And you said, if the price starts with a 2, your words, he's lawyered us. He's right. None of our podcasts count because we missed the correct conversations. But you said if it's anything in the 20s, which it won't be, and anything above $199.
I should have locked myself into the 200 thing
really
instead.
You're going to have to eat a Leviathan axe.
Eat my Leviathan axe.
The handle's going to be chewy.
It's a little bit chewy.
But that head's going to be tough.
Come out with it, no teeth. Oh, do I have to still keep going? You made a promise.
Google, how to soften steel for human consumption.
For human consumption. A bunch of people wrote in to say that they... put the episode in their favorites, by the way.
Gaming, yeah.
Thank you guys.
Also, there was some confusion about what that meant because that's like a 10-year-old thing. They changed it recently. I think I did say it though. There's a little plus sign if you hit that.
You said that.
I don't think the video did particularly well, so it doesn't look like it looks like it did normal.
We'll give it a couple of tries. Yeah. If you guys can do it again, that'd be great, and we'll see what happens.
Let's do the next. We'll leave one. So
right.
Don't do it for this video. We'll do the next one, and we'll remember to say at the beginning, which we definitely won't. And we'll try and have an idea of if it made a difference, because that was the point, was to test if it did anything for the video.
I'm gonna go back to something else crazy. Okay, so this is not our last video, but the video before that.
Yeah.
Diogo says, correcting Conbrosations at 1 hour and 49 minutes and 20 seconds. The best game adaptation is Sonic 2, the movie, but obviously you fake gamers haven't seen it. Well, we only watch good stuff, you see.
Yeah, sure, and we only play good games.
Exactly.
Bruv, Sonic is a hedgehog, one of the least awesome animals out there. What you need to play is, what's it called? Taifu or something?
Taifu?
Yes, it was Taifu. Taifu... Wrath of the Tiger. It was a PS1 game. It was awful.
Yeah.
But I liked it a lot. It was cool. You play as like... Google Taifu. T-A-I-Fu. Wrath of the Tiger. You'll see it. It wasn't good.
Taifu as in F-O or...
yeah. T-A-I space F-U.
Space F-U.
This game, I really liked this game. It was not good at all.
T-A-I-F-U.
Yeah. T-A-I space... F-U.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I recognize this character.
Yeah. This game was bad. I really liked it, but it was bad. It was just awesome running around as like a tiger dude. It was cool. It was not cool. It was good. It was bad.
Private Dinglebay wrote in, not with a correction, but it was his gaming hot take, because that was our question that we had that time.
Oh, yeah.
He says, my gaming hot take is that everybody has said Titanfall 2 has an unbelievable story and is extremely emotional, but like, dude, I legitimately felt like it was the most boring, bland, generic war shooter type story. They tried to shoehorn in some time travel stuff, and I thought it was so stupid and didn't add anything at all. And he says, also, I personally don't think GTA 5 story is awful. I personally think GTA 5 story is awful too, but that's just me.
I'm going to say it. This is another hot take of mine. I didn't like GTA 5 or San Andreas, really.
I like GTA 5, but I mean, I didn't think it was revolutionary.
I loved
cool.
Vice City. I thought Vice City was amazing. It was basically Scarface.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of fell off with it. But I'm glad other people enjoy it. It just didn't do it for me.
What else we got?
But you get to play as 3 protagonists. Trevor's so quirky. He's not that quirky, bro.
Kanye Middle East wrote in, he says his gaming hot take says The Outer Worlds is boring, the definition of mediocre.
Outer Worlds, that was the other game I was thinking of. Outer Worlds and No Man's Sky. I mean, some people just don't vibe with things. It's okay to not vibe with stuff, except, you know, like original trilogy Star Wars. Everybody likes Empire, and if you don't, you're not a person.
You're not a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that's all of the comments for that. Thank you all for writing in your leg ends.
Yeah.
That's all of our comments as well. All right,
that's everything.
Let's just end it with one final question from Giuseppe. He says, don't know if I could drop this down here, but I would like to ask a community question. What older games are you currently playing, or did you finish recently? I'm currently playing the Uncharted games back again, and I'm loving it. P.S. Starfield trailer was actually not bad. The game looks promising. Unfortunately, it won't be on the best console ever. Facts. The Ouya is not getting
it's true.
Starfield, unfortunately.
I mean, it's a good thing you asked the community, because it's the wrong question for us.
I was going to say, the only game that I'm midway through right now is God of War 1. The original one.
And Mass Effect. But you didn't really vibe with it. Halo?
Halo, yeah, but see, Halo and Mass Effect are bad games.
True.
Therefore, I haven't played them.
It's true.
No, but those are games that are on my list. But more recently, I've played the God of War, so that's...
Yeah.
I haven't completed that yet. Although, I promised the community that I'll play them before Ragnarok comes out. So I've got until November 11th. When
never happening. That would be hilarious, though.
That would be hilarious and so petty almost.
What a big dick move, innit?
Oh god, the community there would be fire.
That would be so funny.
Like, this is the thing, like,
I think they should ghost drop it on the day and be like, oh, I know you were expecting a big title, but that didn't come out, so here's God of War.
Thing is, if right now the Xbox community are not buying PlayStations out of spite. Right. They could be having all these great experiences, but they're choosing not to.
Yeah.
No one can understand why.
Well, also they're like diamond dust. It's not exactly easy to come by a PlayStation.
Exactly. But they won't even go near one, even if there was an opportunity. If, however, you drop Ragnarok on Starfield's release date, then at least it gives them something to be angry about. Like, if you did something dickheadish to me, I'd be like, I don't want to do that because you're a dickhead. Yeah. And that's a good reason, at least. Right. But this other one is like, okay, we're not buying PlayStation console. Everyone agree? All right, we're all just going to sit here and twiddle our thumbs.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
At least if they have that, then there'll be an argument. Anyway, guys, that is all from the True Gamer podcast this week. Thank you all for bearing with my illness, my sneezes and everything that's been going through the microphone. Thank you so much. Bro, thank you for hanging with me in this blistering heat.
The AC is struggling.
It's not doing anything. I'm wondering why we even have that loud thing on over there.
But this is the thing is, if we turn this off...
Roast.
Our computers were shut down. That's the thing a lot of people don't... So we got a bunch of new subs. We have the AC. Because the last time we did this, like a year ago or the year before, whenever we got it, we couldn't record. We could not stream. That's why we got the streaming rig. And we could barely manage to stay in the room because our computers were literally dying. It was getting... bad.
I want to quickly read this out.
Do it. It's a good thing you didn't basically end the show.
Alpha just sent this to me. I don't know if it's something worth reading, but I'm going to read it anyway. We also careful to let you know. So it's a quote about Starfield.
Okay.
We're also careful to let you know that's what the procedural content is, said Todd Howard. So if you look at space, there are a lot of ice balls in space. So there was one of our big design considerations in the game. What's fun about an ice ball? And it's okay sometimes if eyeballs aren't. It is what it is. We'd rather have them say yes to you. Hey, you can land on this. Here are the resources, you can survey it. And then you can land on it and spend 10 minutes there. And be like, okay, now I'm going to leave and go back to the other planet that has all of this content on it. And I'm going to follow the quest line. So basically what he's doing, without trying to say it in a bad way, is that, yes, there are going to be planets that have absolutely nothing on them.
There are empty things, and you can go there for resources, but we only really have 15 planets worth going to, and of those, only 10 have anything interesting on them.
Right.
And the rest are just ice balls. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, go away. Just go away.
It's set design, but it's set design that I don't need to be able to explore.
Right.
Anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in for another episode of the True Gamer Podcast. We'll catch you all in the next one. Hopefully I'll be better. I'll see you all later, boys.
I appreciate you. Well, you mean like not sick, not obviously better. Like, there's no way you're improving as a host.
Yeah, come on,
I'm ridiculous. I'm just trying to set expectations, isn't it? They can be like, Eddie's going to improve in the next one. No.
You got to set the bar low and stay there.
Right.
All right, boys. See ya.